There we go. Hang on a minute. Bloody screens. Here we are then. Get the advertising in. Get the advertising in. There we go. Let's get to the right screen. There we go. Okay. Couple of new arrivals. The Strawberries and Scream cereal and Fangoria subscriber only limited edition magazine. Hello Ethan, Line Raw. Hello Charlie, Melinda, Christian, Kyle, Jigsaw, you gotta watch him. He's going, you what? Got the coffee pot going. Coffee pot? Bloody hell, mate. Make yourself sound old saying that. I think you're a lot younger than me. Who's clanging bottles around? I can hear something getting clanged about. But yes. What's in here? Masks? Normally, yeah, normally. There you go. I know the ring light's going to be glaring it a bit. There you go. It not work. There's like a voice box sensor thing inside it. There you go. Where is it? There it is. That's what happens when you turn the ring light off and you see the person in their normal flesh colours. God almighty. Charlie Wright, yes I have. Yes. Hello Screen Ghost, hello Mike. Have you seen the new knockoff Devil Ghostface mask on Facebook Marketplace? It has been made aware of to Funworld by one of the fans that bought one of the fake masks. There's a fan called Falco, and Falco bought an EU stamp mask, or what he thought was going to be an EU stamp mask, and it was a fake. And yes, the same person's been making fake devils, fake zombies, fake vipers, fake EU stamps, fake scary movie types, all of the types. Trust me, Funworld have been made aware by Falco. So Falco bought a mask, realised it was fake, realised it was cheap crap, that was a clone of a Funworld mask. And yes, it is information he's forwarded to Funworld in quite a detailed email, I believe. So yes, I am aware of them, and it isn't good. Although you will know the differences if you compare them to the normal EU. Yeah, you will know the differences if you compare them side by side with a real mask. Let's just turn the ring light off a minute. So there you go. Strawberries and Scream. Crispy mallow cereal clusters. And the brand is Serial Killer. And on the back, look at all those Ghostface masks. There's all these Ghostface masks there, and only one of them's the proper way the mask should be. All the eyes are upside down on the masks. So there's only one in that image, which I know where it is, but there's only one in that image that's the real proper Ghostface mask, with the eyes being the correct way round. The rest of them are all the opposite way round. Wanna play a game? There you go. There's only one real Ghostface in the image below. Can you find it? Or can you find him, it says. So it's defining as a him. And then there you go. So you want to win a private screening of the new film for you and 19 of your friends. Bloody hell. One lucky box will contain a holographic sticker. Find that lucky sticker and you're a winner. I haven't got a holographic sticker. That's what it looks like. And there you go. So it's not a holographic one. So we haven't won a screening for me and 19 friends. I don't know if I've got 19 friends. Not all in the Nottingham area anyway. Getting 19 people together in the same place is impossible these days for a bloody film showing. It is among friends anyway. But yeah, so you get a little sticker. Obviously the box is just exactly that. It's just your box. And yeah. So I'll catch up with the chat in a minute, but it basically says you have 300 grams of cereal here, and this is puffed rice cereal covered in melted marshmallows, strawberry jelly pieces, and natural flavours. Okay. Once open, keep the bag sealed, store in a cool dark place, and consume within 1 week. So you got a week to eat it once you undo that seal. What happens after that? Does Ghostface come out the cereal and kill you? But yeah, there you go. And yeah, just inside, there's the screamer, so to speak. There you go. I was going to try these live on stream and give a, like a taste test, so I still may do. But no, there's no pocket screamer in there. And yeah, I ordered 2 boxes. So I've got one that keeps sealed, and one that obviously we'll give a try. I'm just wondering actually whether I'm guessing it is the print on the back for the Ghostface mask. Yeah, it's in the same place. That's okay then. I was looking there thinking, have they actually gone to the trouble of making different images for each box? That took a long time. Just placing the real Ghostface mask in a different place, but they're all the same place. I'm sure everyone's found them by now that's got these things. But yes, these were a UK exclusive by company Serial Killer. Oh dear. So, the surprise element is light sensitive. I'm not sure if it is light sensitive. I think it is in a way. But if you press the little white button, it does activate the scream. So I'm not sure if it's just the button being sensitive. I don't know what it is. Let's have a look. Pre-ordered mine on the 2nd, still not shipped. Surprise element is, yeah, okay. How's it going? Okay. People keep buying the fake masks. They all say beware fakes, but keep buying them. But no pocket screamer. Hello, Mr. Vince. The cereal actually tastes okay. I've not tried it yet. I said to the missus I'll probably try it on stream, but maybe shortly. Maybe shortly. Depends how long this goes on. I like the look of the cereal. Reminds me of the brains. Yeah, it reminds me of brains. Oh, how many brains you been eating? Hello Mike, wanted to ask everyone if they know anything about the Order Fantastic mask to have plastic strips, vinyl, but what? Yeah, that's how they're tagged. they go through the back of the tag into the front of the mask, out of the back of the mask, and out of the back of the material. That's how they're tagged, or that's how they should be tagged. Did you start talking about the movie? Not yet, but we will in a minute. I've also got Nate Reagan coming on, so Nate's going to be waiting. I don't want to keep him waiting too long. I want that cereal now. I know a tiny bit how all you UK fans, when we in America get spoiled with a bunch of... I know, when the USA get a load of stuff and we can't get it, yeah, it's shoes on the other foot, innit? We got this cereal that Americans can't get because it's UK only. I'm sure you could get a UK fan to pick some up and get some sent over. I mean, end of the day, as long as the cereal stays sealed, you should be fine, even if you want to, you want to eat it. Are EU stamps making a comeback in 2022? I'm not sure. I did ask that question the other day to RJ, and the response came back, check with me back in a couple of weeks. So take from that what you will. The same to Mr. Zach, says Melinda, yes. But also today, I mean, this came from Fangoria, and they sent this. Which I haven't had a full read through yet. There you go. So you've got a Stab 5 poster there, all been cut up. And obviously you've got a bit of a Ghostface, I'm guessing, from the new film there, just in the corner. But yeah, then you got this weird thing on the back. There you go. But you go inside on the first page, there he is. Page 22 is Ghostface. But yeah, nice magazine. So this is volume 2, number 14. This issue's an absolute scream, it says. The black phone is calling you. I think that's to do with... Yeah, that's to do with this on the back. Black phone. It says it up in the top corner there, look. But, yeah. So I'll keep the ring lights off for a minute. We'll just give you a quick gander. But yeah, this Fangoria got in touch with me and says, "Oh, we're doing a poster giveaway. Do you want the link, etc." And the lady found me on Facebook. I says, "Okay." So I shared the link wherever possible, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And she says, "Just give me an address, t-shirt size, and we'll send something out to you." I said, "Oh, that's very nice." So this is what she sent: a t-shirt and a nice magazine, which I believe this magazine is subscribers only that have the option to get it. So if you go on the Fangoria site, look for single issues only. I don't believe this is listed there. I don't think. But there's a chance some of these could pop up again. Yeah. But yeah, there's a chance some of these could pop up again. And somebody said, how'd you get the chance? I says, well, the lady said that after the rest of these are finished with the shipping, that there's probably going to be some left over, and if there's some left over, they'll notify people on an email, or like a subscriber's email or a newsletter or something. And there was something on Fangoria called the Terror Teletype. So I'll just show you quick what this is. Let's have a look. So there you go. So copy. I'm just going to paste this into the live stream. There you go. You see me again. That ugly git. Anyway, there you go. So the link is in the chat as I've just pasted it in there now. You just see me on the browser when I went to myself. This is why I have that open, so I can paste stuff in there quickly. I can't do it on my streaming software, which is a pain. But if you go to this page and put your email into this, then basically this is how you could possibly have a chance of getting one of these when there's some left over. So click that link in the chat, add to that page, put your email in there, and basically when an email comes in the future saying, oh, there's a possible chance to get one of these Stab Scream Fangoria issue magazines. Obviously it's not just solely based on Stab and Scream, there are other things in there, but yeah, that's your chance to try and get one if you go to that link and click this. So there you go. There we go. Go back to normal. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go. Did you have to sign up together, or did they hook you up? But yeah, as I say, the lady contacted me on Facebook. Says, look, I see you got a Ghostface site and basically a couple of groups online that you know they've been in and out. I think Scream Ghostface Collectors, Scream Ghostface Trading and Sales. I don't know if they've been in the Fun Time one. But she'd been around the groups, come up, seen my name, seen a few other people's names, sent them messages, and just said, yeah, address, t-shirt size, and we'll send you a magazine. I says, oh, thank you. I went on Twitter, she followed on Twitter, I followed on Twitter back, and it went from there. And it's been over a week or so, it's almost 2 weeks, I think, since original contact. But yeah, they sent the magazine, I was like, oh, very nice. And then they sent a nice Fangoria t-shirt, which actually fits quite good. She says, oh, tell us your t-shirt size. I says, I don't know, I just had a guess, but thankfully it was the right guess. So yeah, Fangoria t-shirt, magazine, and everyone's happy. Right. Until the marketing for this film, I had no idea Fangoria was still doing physical magazines. But oh yes. And the lady I spoke to, I think she's more involved online, but she's good. She'll point you in the right direction if you need help. If you've got a question about something, she'll tell you who to go and ask, email address, contact link, whatever it is. But yes, hello and Mr. Norwegian Scream. Is that Mr. Stefan? Oh dear, sorry, I need a drink. Right. Let's have a look. So, let me check where Mr. Nate is. So we're about to contact Scream Royalty with regards to fans and props and bloody hell everything else. Let me see what's going on. Just sending Nate a message. Just see whether he's ready now or whether I basically start on about the film and then he comes and joins me. See what he says. He's just he's responding now. He's ready. He's ready. Okay. It always makes me nervous with Nate. I've got to be. Okay. Okay, he's ready. So the last time I had Nate on the stream like this was the 6th of December 2020. So lockdown year, so to speak, into early December was when Mr. Nate Reagan was last on. So here we go. Let's get him back on. Let's have a look. We'd have this was Jordan. Don't get the wrong idea. This was something I wanted to do with Nate and Meggie for a little while, but Meggie's not too good. She has the odd migraine here and there, so Meggie's not able to do it. But trust me, mate. Once you've got your days off or whatever sorted out, we'll get Jordan on. Don't worry about that. Like I turned off Douglas in a few days, you know. Again, I want to get Douglas back on in the future. But at this time, it's just basically a bit of film chat. I know Nate's got his opinions, and Nate's obviously got a couple of Screen 5 items he can show as well. And if you go to Reagan Productions on YouTube, you can go and watch his individual videos. You can see his videos linked on my site on his own page, which is a playlist of screen-related Nate Reagan videos on there, just as there is for Maggie as well. So, let's see if we can bring him in anyway. And hopefully... videos linked on my site on his own page, which is a playlist of screen-related Nate Reagan videos on there, just as there is for Maggie as well. So, let's see if we can bring him in anyway. Let me get this Skype window set correctly. Go on, we need Mr. Nate on. Oh, don't you just love when things go wrong? Hang on a second, Nate. Hang on. Now, there we go, now it's doing it. Hang on. Videos on there, just so it's for Maggie as well. There he is. Let's see if we can bring him in anyway. Hello, Mr. Nate.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Good.
You got feedback from the stream? I'm not sure if you'll need headphones. Hello, Nate. We're gonna play a game. There we go. I'm nervous now. Nate's here. Nate's here. Hello.
This is good.
That is very nice, Mr. Nate. How are you?
Hello.
Why am I worried? So, Nate, about that mash you've got, if you could send it priority shipping as soon as possible.
Yeah, I need some cereal.
Yeah. You want some cereal?
Yeah, I can get that.
We could get some sorted out. As long as it stays sealed on the way over there, you should be good if you want to eat it as well. How's Mr. Nate then? You just obviously seen the film recently, and initial thoughts, would you say good, bad, neutral? What's your rating out of 10 for the new Scream?
It's probably 9.5.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what to say about mine now. Good guy. Yeah, there was one particular scene that really angered me, to say the least.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you can probably guess what that is, but yeah.
Absolutely.
In many ways, yeah, and many people have said, look, it's to be expected, and it's just it is what it is. But let's put it this way: we're live on stream now. It's me, it's Nate, and if anybody at this point, if you're watching live and you have not seen the film, then please, what are you doing here? Because we're about to talk about the film, okay? So, Nate obviously seen the film. I've seen the film. I've seen it twice. I don't think it matters how many times you've seen it, but if there's anyone in this stream as of right now, you have not seen the film, let me just make it very clear before carrying on. Leave the stream, and I'll just say that politely. If you've not seen the film, you don't want to be spoiled, off you go. Don't let the door hit your arse on the way out. Go on, come back later. Right, I've made it clear, so now we can get into the film chat. And yeah, we've got a few viewers here, so go on then, Nate. Me and you have had messages between each other since you've seen the film, and you was very confused with one particular bit of set, shall we say. So go on, Nate. Let's hear your story. Let's hear your story. What you got to say? Give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So do we want to just dive right into the issues that we had first?
By all means, and I'll talk along with you, and then I'll start on some of mine maybe, but I'll let you start because you're royalty.
Okay. So the main issue that I had, which was, I guess it is kind of nitpicky, but I did not understand why they created a basement in Stu's house when there's no basement in Stu's house for real. nor
Yeah.
was there ever one in the original movie. It just,
It just
I
got
don't know,
to you.
like, yeah, and I had people, I saw some people say, like, well, we don't know that there's no basement in Stu's house in the first movie. They never say that. And it's like, well, if you think about it, that's clearly not a door with narrow steps leading down to a basement in the first film, because Stu literally says, I'll be right back, with his arms out, and he walks backwards into the door, straight back.
Yeah.
He would have fell down the stairs.
He would.
He's literally down there for like 7 seconds before he comes back up with Sydney's dad. So it's like, clearly that was never a basement. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they invented a basement there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't see a reason why those scenes couldn't have taken place in the garage. Like, why are they not going to the garage to get beer?
Yes. Yeah. It's funny that,
So that
because...
kind of...
Yeah, okay, yeah. You ever realise that with Scary Movie, they actually recreated the garage probably a little bit more realistically? And that's in Scary Movie, for God's sake, you know, with the Daft Killer. But, yeah, I do agree. You get to the portion of the film and you get to Stu's house and you're looking and you're thinking, God, look at all this, you know, this is right, that's right. I mean, you've personally been to the real place, I haven't. So you know what is correct and what isn't. And you know damn well that garage was that garage, you know, in the first Scream. And as you say, Stu would have gone arse over tit straight backwards if it had been like we'd seen in Scream 5. So yeah, definitely, on seeing that on the film when I first went to see it, I was like, what the hell is this? It's stairs going down, and it was almost derelict down there, even for a set. I was like, God, at least fill it out with something. It was like the fridge was the centre point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really strange, and that was one of the first things that I looked for when I got my hands on... I guess first I got my hands on the shooting draft of the script.
Yeah.
So I read the whole thing cover to cover, but I was really looking forward to the Stu's house moments. And in the shooting draft, it was the basement, and both scenes took place in the basement still, and I was like, okay. But then when I got my hands on the first draft...
Yeah.
I don't know if you had a chance to read it, but
no.
The first scene in the basement does take place in the basement, but the second basement scene takes place in the garage.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've not seen any of the scripts in relation to the new film. God, there's still Scream 4 scripts I've never seen, which I know, obviously, in your recent videos, you've actually got a full one, haven't you? Which is extremely rare.
Yeah.
Extremely rare, but, yeah.
Especially the shooting drafts, the shooting scripts, the actual physical ones for 4 were all, like, ordered to be destroyed.
Yeah.
So...
because of internet and social media and the fact that leaks are so easy these days. Yeah. Yeah. Did you... this is one that's going to be a good question for you. Personally, from the start of the film, I don't know why, but I got the inkling that I knew of one of the killers. I turned out to be right with one of them, but the second one I was completely wrong. With the killers' identities, what did you think and figure out? Was you having any suspicions, and was you right? You know, what did you think, and what was the reveal like for you?
I thought the reveal was done really well. I don't think anybody saw the, in the middle of that great scene where they're all accusing each other of being the killer in that circle in the living room, and then boom, just shoots her in the head. It's like, I don't think anybody saw that coming. As far as like going into the movie and kind of having like some thoughts, I think I'm kind of like you. There was one that I said to myself going in. I was like, and again, I was very like, the only thing I ever saw for this movie, apart from seeing it, was the first trailer. I didn't watch any of the TV spots. I didn't watch the second trailer.
Wow.
I stayed from everything.
Okay.
But going in, I kind of told myself, if Jack Quaid, just because he's such a big star, if he's still alive at about like the midway point of the movie, he's probably going to be one of the killers. And again, I could have been wrong. Of course, I was prepared to be wrong. But as more and more people kind of drop dead one after another, I just kind of was like, he's still there. He he's making it to the end for some reason, and I just don't see him making it all the way to the end just to be killed. Like, I just didn't see that happening. So that was the prediction that I ended up getting right.
I don't know why, but I suspected him from after the first scene. We see the first scene with Tara. Obviously, you know, the title comes up and then it goes to Cardinal Lanes, the bowling alley, where there's 2 people, and I thought, here we go. So I get a couple of minutes in, and of course, you know, the phone call comes and you get the update from Wes, and I think, hang on a minute, he's a bit clingy, him. He's forcing himself on her straight away. Why is he so keen to go with her? Is he just a protected boyfriend? Is it a throw off? Is it a twist? Or is he really making sure he's tagging along from minute 1? So I suspected him from there, and I thought, I hope I'm right. And as you say, it carries on and it carries on. You're like, yeah, he seems a bit too dumb sometimes when he's researching and Netflixing and looking at Stab, and I'm thinking, yeah, is this all just a ploy? So I always had him in the back burner. And then the other one was complete bloody surprise. But kill-wise, this, I'll tell you one of my kills that I found a problem with, see what your opinion is. So, again, spoilers for people in the stream. You're not seeing the film, you shouldn't be listening. But here we go. So, here we go. Judy Hicks, or Sheriff Hicks, she's in her car. She's alerted to the presence of Ghostface. So, she's got to rush home because Wes is in danger here. So, what does she do? She radios ahead. All units converge to my house, whatever she says, yeah? Basically, coppers, police, get your ass to Judy's house. Something's going down, yeah? Couple more minutes goes along, she's speeding along, she finally gets there. And like, that truck must have been in first gear or something. So she gets there, of course. Who's there? Good old Mr. Ghostface. Broad daylight, no one walking the dog, no one jogging. You know, what the hell's going on? He gets a nice kill off in broad daylight, no more Judy. And then, you know, off he goes inside. Where's the police? Where's the police? She radioed minutes ago, you know. In an emergency situation, you'd think that somebody would be showing up as he's putting the second stab in. Which surprised me. But I don't know. Was that one of your little nitpicks? Or, you know, what was your thoughts, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, I did like the scene in general. I'm always down for like a daylight Ghostface kill. I mean, obviously the most memorable being like Randy's death in 2.
True.
It's just kind of like, yeah, it makes you feel weird. It's like out of place. It's just like, oh, this is happening now in broad daylight. It's like seeing something that shouldn't be there. Like Ghostface shouldn't be standing in broad daylight in neighborhood street killing someone, but it works. But yeah, I agree that like it wasn't so much that it happened in the daytime. It was the time, the amount of time from when she makes the call to she gets to the house to she's killed. Wes gets out of the shower, has time to get dressed, go downstairs, prepare the kitchen, has that really long shot of him going all over the house, and you keep thinking ghosts is going to pop up. There's not a siren or anything, and so it was a little delayed. I agree, especially when you go back to the opening scene, which also is in Westboro, and you know, it's like a mere like 30 seconds after Tara alerts the police that she's being attacked, and you know they're practically coming up on the front porch as Ghostface is about to stab her the last time. So it's like, I mean, maybe she lived close to the police station. I don't know, but it was kind of odd.
Yeah, it's a possibility, isn't it? It's a possibility. But yeah, I mean the start of the film for me was nice because it wasn't just weird seeing a Paramount logo instead of what we was used to seeing, but it was good to hear Roger on form, and for once, in the start of a Scream film, we had something that was a little different. And I'm not saying that the Scream 1 to 4 was bad in any way with regards to how they did things, because I always liked 1 to 4. I've got my little ranking. But for once, we had a difference with Scream. It wasn't a couple killed, it wasn't a stab thing. All of a sudden, it was just this single person. And you thought, as soon as that credit came up, I'm sure most people did, maybe you did, Nate, I don't know, but as soon as Scream came on the screen, you think, well, bloody hell, she's dead. And was it a shock, you know, to think minutes later, someone's making a phone call about her and she somehow survived? What did you think on that one?
I thought it was awesome because, like you said, they did something completely different. You know, and I understand it is changing the formula to a certain extent, but at the same time, we've had that opening scene 4 times. Like, we've had the 2 people killed in the opening scene. We've had that 4 times, so I think it was good to do something different. I think they did it right. I think it worked, and I think it was just the start of like the first red herring in the film, because you at least I did. I immediately questioned, like, well, what if she's one of the killers and the one that attacked her is the partner, and we don't find that out to the end? You know, I had that thought in my head the whole time too.
Yeah.
So it really got you thinking from like the first moment, like something very different is going on here.
Yes, you think, oh, this is a little bit of a twist-a-woo, and then the phone call comes from Wes, and you're like, what the hell? The one thing that surprised me, character-wise, is how long some people lasted. Like paying a homage to Wes, as in obviously Mr. Craven. You may have thought or assumed, being a fan as we all are, that maybe the Wes character may have lasted longer. I don't know. Similar thoughts on that, Mr. Nate? What do you think? Or was it just a case of bad timing? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought I did question that at first. Like, I was like, oh, they already killed the character that they named Wes after Wes Craven. That was kind of odd. But then, you know, as the film goes on, they kind of justify that choice because they wanted to have that scene where, very meta, all the characters are in Stu's house cheering, you know, this is for Wes, this is for Wes. So I thought that was like great. I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay with them killing him off that quick.
Sort of fell into place. Yeah, I agree with that. I know I've spoke to RJ about the film and he had his thoughts, which I'll keep private for now. But I think there was a bit surprising that with RJ he did go into a bit more detail, but again, maybe he'll tell us about that on his future interview. I know he's going to be relaxed now. He's seen the film, and now Paramount can breathe in a bit more as well, because I was a bit edgy doing it before the film release. But overall though, we had a Ghostface that seemed to be a lot meaner. Whether it was just me thinking that, I don't know. It's a lot meaner. How many times do you see a bloody Ghostface jam a knife into someone's neck and then keep pressing the damn thing and then go through? I was like, what the hell, this is a bit different. You know, instead of 100,000 stabs and, you know, the sides of the legs or whatever, it was just a simple, you know, all the way through the neck. And I know some people in the theatre where I was just like, oh, for God's sake. Did you think that was CGI? I mean, some people have assumptions that was a excellent bit of makeup. Other people say it was CGI and assume it was CGI. What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, I couldn't tell, honestly, which I guess, I mean, these days, that's about as good as you can ask for if you can't.
Yeah.
And I did question it after that scene. I was like, I wonder if that was CGI. It didn't look CGI, but it could have been. I can't tell. So, I think that's what you want. You know, you want to not be able to tell. And I mean, you know, there was a lot of CGI in Scream 4 that some of it you could tell, some of it you couldn't. So I kind of went in knowing it's just the way it is these days. Like that, you know, generally they try to do practical effects as much as they can.
Yes.
But it is cheaper and faster to do CGI, and like I said, because it's not like, oh god, that was definitely CGI. That I don't like, and I didn't really have that feeling at all during this movie. So even if it was CGI, I mean, it was good enough for me, I guess.
Okay. Let me just.
I agree. It's being mean, and like I told a lot of people that this was. I mean, honestly, I think this is like the scariest Ghostface has been since, like, probably the opening scene of Scream 1.
Yeah, the Casey scene. Yeah.
Just menacing and terrifying and brutal and just just different. You didn't have the feeling watching it like, oh, who's this anonymous killer that's just so fast and sweat. You literally got the feeling of like there's a complete psycho mass murder behind this mask this time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It did seem a lot meaner, and even just some of his simple movements is like Jesus. They've nudged him up a couple of levels here. Right, let
Yeah.
me just check the chat here. There was a question which you may or may not know the answer to, Nate. I don't know. So in the past, there's been different stuntmen for Scream with regards to Ghostface, and we got a Norwegian Scream here, which is I believe Stefan, long-time friends. Does anyone know who the stuntman on the new film was? Did you have any? I know you had some contact with the new film and you helped a bit, Nate. Any idea on stuntman? Do you know?
I do know. Hold on. Let me get it because I have it.
Got it on your
I
script.
made it on my phone in case somebody asked because I know there's like a lot of stuntmen in this movie and they didn't really advertise who was
Okay.
Ghostface, but I do have it here. I was able to confirm. Keith Ward.
Keith Ward. Okay.
Keith Ward was Ghostface for pretty much the entire movie.
Okay.
I want to say there was like a different guy did some stuff for like the end scenes, like at Stu's house, but
Okay.
kind of like it's like all the screams, like
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, Dane Farwell's Ghostface. Well, I mean, Dane like played him like 15% of the time
Yeah.
in the first film. There was like 10 different people that played Ghostface. But yes, this guy I understand played him about 90% of the time.
Okay. There was a Tony, wasn't there, in the first one as well? Was it Tony Serrera or something? Yeah.
Yeah, Tony
So,
Cecere.
yeah. I always get his
So
last
many.
name wrong. Yeah.
Somebody who was completely different. Some Lee guy was Ghostface in just the K&B scenes, like the first time scenes they shot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then same with Scream too. Chris Durand was Ghostface for most of it. Dane was only in it for like one scene.
Okay.
And it's Scream 3, Dane wasn't in it at all. It was mostly Brian Avery. Scream 3 was the only movie where it was pretty much just one.
Yeah. Where Brian discovered that the chin is a beautiful reservoir when you've been breathing a lot. Yeah. I used to get that a lot of my fan films. You tip it back after you're like, oh, for God's sake, it'll be all down. You think, well, it's my breath just condensated, but yeah, those bloody masks. Let me double check the chat again. Hang on. But yes, Melinda is in agreement with regards to the basement being a puzzling choice. Christian B, that's odd. I always thought it was going to be Amber, and I thought Richie was too obvious to be Ghostface, so he was shocked with Richie. I always like when the killer reveals themselves by taking off the mask, gives it a little more suspense. Zach Bartron, been really nitpicky thing, but it's been bugging the hell out of me. Did they make a stab based on the events of Scream 4? Because Wes says his mum was a character in one of them, but if Rian Johnson's stab is the 8th film and has nothing to do with the franchise. Okay. We saw bits of 6 and 7 in Scream 4. How could Judy have been a character in the stab movie? Am I overthinking things, or did the filmmakers mess up with the stab timeline, says Mr. Zach Bartron. What do you think? Go on then, Nate. I see you nodding.
Okay, so
come on.
Yeah, I had this discussion literally the night after I saw the movie with a couple people, where I said I might be crazy. I've only seen it once, but in Scream 4 there's 7 stab movies.
Yeah.
And in this one there's only 8.
Yeah.
And we know that the 8th stab, they literally say in the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody hated it because it had nothing to do with the storyline. It had none of the legacy characters whatsoever. But Wes does say my mom was a character in a stab movie, and that's why I feel like we're in danger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've asked around. I've looked at every version of the script that I could get my hands on. What I can tell you is that in the first draft of the script, there actually was a lot of errors like that. Like, for example, in the first draft, there's only 4 stab movies.
Okay.
4 is the newest one, and it's based off of what happened in Scream 4.
Yeah.
So obviously the writer just didn't, it was something to probably be fixed later. But in all the other versions, it's the same. So I hate to say it, but I think they might have messed up on the timeline a little bit there.
Right.
But also, having said that, you know, just because Stab 8 wasn't based on what happened in Scream 4 doesn't mean that Judy couldn't have been a character in it. And I guess that's how I'm gonna look at it, unless I'm told otherwise, or unless we're shown otherwise. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I mean,
okay.
they specifically say in the film that none of the legacy characters are Stab 8. Well, the legacy characters would be Sydney, Dewey, and Gale.
Yeah.
So I don't really consider Judy a legacy character. So she could have been a character in Stab 8, I guess. But yes, I agree, but I also just kind of made up my own little, like, well, we'll just say she was a character in that movie.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. Right, let's have a look. Christian B saying to Zach, good spot, yes. Keith Ward says someone in the chat. Yes, it was Keith Ward, as Mr. Nate can confirm. I was shocked they cut some fan favourites out from the trailer. One being Parking Lot with Vince, and you see the shadow on the wall. Yeah, the shadow on the wall. You never saw that in the film. Number 2, the other is when Ghostface meets Sydney and says, hello, Sydney, it's an honour. Now, all that is the beauty of editing. That's all that is.
Right.
But it gave you the impression, he was saying to Sydney. Jigsaw, Lee Waddell, or Lee Waddell, yes, it's an honour was said during Dewey's scene. Yes, we're going to get to that in a sec. Melinda says, I really didn't want it to be Richie, but he gave me Stu vibes in the trailer with that Be Right Back scene. Jigsaw, Nate is a fountain of knowledge. He's not a fountain of knowledge, he's a goddamn Niagara Falls of knowledge, that's what he is. I did notice it with Dewey, so I thought Ghostface was going to say the line, if any original cast was killed off, as a kind of mark of respect towards them, yes. But yes, Nate is the Niagara Falls of Scream knowledge. Jesus Christ, man. You know, like, these streams go on a lot because I waffle on. If you put Nate on a live feed all day, every day, trust me, he could tell you a lot of stuff. No offence, Nate, no offence.
No.
No. He like Maureen Evans says at Scream 2, he knows his shit, or she knew her shit, yeah? He knows. So, here we go. Somebody's just touched on it in the chat. Mr. Retroactive on the chat. Dewey's murder, which pains me to say, was brutal. Yes, so Mr. Nate, on one of your recent videos, I think it was anyway, I'm pretty sure you said that, I think it was one of your Scream 4 script videos, I could be wrong, but you were surprised that the main trio survived as long as they did, even up to Scream 4. You were surprised that one of them wasn't taken out in some way, shape or form. So, as you sat there in your first screening of Scream 2022, what the hell, in a nice way, what the hell went through your mind when Dewey goes out of the lift and proceeds back to shoot Ghostface in the head, and then obviously it goes how it goes? What was you thinking and what was your reaction?
Well, I mean, obviously I had a really bad feeling when he was going back. It's kind of like a movie rule. It's like, you know, you're getting away, don't go back. You know, it goes back to like Scream 2. You know, Hallie's like, stupid people go back, smart people run.
Yeah. That's true.
And yeah, it just was like I just had a bad feeling. But going into the movie, like you had pointed out, I kind of felt like, again, I didn't want any of the three to die. I never have. I didn't want anybody to die in Scream 2, 3, 4. Didn't want any of them to die. But Scream 4 came out because there had been so many years in between. It was like 11 years since the last one.
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like they have to do something like that because they have to make it dangerous. We have to fear for these characters.
Yeah.
If they continue to survive time and time again, then basically they're going to be looked at as invincible and never in any danger.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't want any of them to die, but I felt like now that they're doing a fourth one, if they're going to do that, it's probably the time to do it. And I really thought one of the three was going to die. I didn't know who. I thought maybe Sydney would die in 4. I was like, Nev was kind of hesitant to come back. I hope it's not one of those things where she's like, oh, I'll come back if you kill me off. So when they survived again in 4, of course I was happy. I was like, perfect. But then we got like another 10 years go by, and then we have another one. And at this point, it's like, okay, they've all three survived mass murder sprees 4 times now.
Yeah.
Like, they have to do something crazy to make this movie like worth making, I think.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of them has to go.
Yeah. Huh?
So I had that in my head. Again, I didn't want it to happen, but I just felt like they can't be superhero. They can't be superheroes. Like, we have to feel like they're in danger, and that's not going to happen unless something happens to one of them.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Just looking at the chat here, Christian B, he says, I just want to say, Nate, whatever influence you had on the look of Ghostface, great job, very badass. I'm sure you can see it on your side. Woodsworth Slasher, I'm literally head to the cinema for my second video. Bloody hell, what are you doing watching the stream? Go and get out of it. I'll speak to you soon, Woodsworth Slasher. I did read somewhere that Dewey's originally supposed to be killed in Scream 1, says Vince Hopkins. Yes, that is correct, and I'm sure, I think Nate's got some info on that, because that was a decision of Wes and an audience reaction as well. Nick Meese. Yeah, Nick Meese. I've just finished these 2 comments. Mr. Nick Meese, welcome, sir. It's good to see your name. Killing Dewey sets the killers up for, as for real, what they're doing has to be taken seriously. And Jigsaw Joe Blow Horror Originals just put out a really cool video about how Scream 3 was originally supposed to play out. But yeah, with regards to Dewey originally meant to be biting it, as they say in Scream 1, you remember stuff like that, Nate, in the documentaries and the extras and that. He wasn't, it was like an audience test, wasn't it? If they liked him, he was going to come back. Do you remember that?
Yeah, basically Wes loved the character so much that he insisted that they just film a real quick take of Dewey being let out on a stretcher still alive, and just kind of decided, like, oh, when we screen the movie, we'll see how people react to him dying, and if they're like, oh, we really like that guy, then we'll just throw that little shot that we grabbed at the end.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we got to have him for 3 more movies after that. 4, I guess 4 more.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever think, halfway into Scream 2, of course, he's there trying to get Gail's attention, banging on the soundproof glass. Did you ever think, I know my first viewing of Scream 2, I thought he was dead after that. Did you think he was dead after that in your first Scream 2 viewing?
Absolutely. I still remember because at that point, Randy had been killed.
Yeah.
You have Dewey, literally looks like this time, and with the music, it's like, oh my gosh, they actually killed him this time. I remember in the screening thinking, like, well, that's it. There's not going to be another screen. They're literally killing everybody. Like, what is happening? It's just like shock, and we're near attached to the characters back then like we are now, because we only had them we had this one movie that came out that we all loved, and then we were lucky enough to get a sequel, but then it was like, oh my god, they're killing everybody, stop.
Yeah, I do agree.
I had the same thought you did.
Yeah, I always heard as well that again, this is what I've heard in the past for a long time though, is that Randy was killed off for 2 different reasons, and it wasn't always written. I don't know how much you know on this, but I always remember reading somewhere that seemed to be a reliable source at the time that apparently part of Randy's demise was because he wanted to be behind the camera with Wesmore and have a shot at directing. And they said, in that case, let's kill him off then. And it was something like that, but I don't know how true that is. Something I'd love to ask Jamie Kennedy if I ever got to speak to him. But do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard similar things, but then, on the other hand, you hear the exact opposite, sometimes from the same people. Sometimes you read something, it's like, oh, so-and-so said this was why, but then, like, in a different interview, the same person says, oh, no, Kevin just did that for, shock value, and,
You don't
but
know
then
what
even
to believe.
And Kevin says, oh, if I could do it again, I probably would have kept him around for another, movie.
He did say that, he did say that. I was like, yeah, bloody old Kevin. I mean, at least in a way, we did get him in Scream 3 in some sort of form. At least, he did sort of return in a clever way, at least. And then, in 4, there was just the odd reference. But, in 5, that little shrine. What did you think when you saw Heather come on the screen, and she was the... Randy's sister back again, and the big shrine there, and everyone was gathered for a chat. She just talks to Dewey, doesn't she? Says, "Oh, you look," and she doesn't even know what to say, does she?
Right? Yeah, it was. Yeah, see moments like that in that movie just really made me smile. I think they really they really did a good job with those little nods for
Yeah.
fans. Scream 3 obviously is arguably like the most hated of the franchise. I
Yeah.
don't hate the film. I love the film,
I
but
like it. Yeah, I like it.
yeah, it's probably the one that most people probably have watched the least or know the least.
Yeah.
So for them to go that deep and be like, well, we're going to have her back, it really fell in line with way before they even announced that Scream was happening, like Scream 5 or who the directors were or anything. I had actually heard from somebody who had a chance to read the script, and I was like,
Ah.
so yeah,
Right.
little backstory probably that I can tell now.
Yeah. Okay.
It basically said, they're looking at doing another Scream, and I was like, is it like a remake or a reboot? And they said, no, it's definitely Scream 5.
Yeah.
And they had a chance to read the script because I'll just say they work. We'll just say they work at a studio, which they do.
Okay.
So that's how they had a chance to read it early on, and this was before they announced who wrote it or who anything. And I remember the two things because I was like, I don't want to hear anything about it. They're like, well, we're not going to ruin anything. He wasn't going to ruin anything for me, but he did say two things that turned out to be exactly true.
Yeah.
He said the guy that wrote it also wrote one of the Spider-Man movies, and he wrote Zodiac for David Fincher. So I was like, well, holy shit, that's crazy. And then he said that almost every living character appears in the script. And I was like, every living character? I'm like, I got to think about that. And he's like, literally, pretty much every living character is in the script.
Yeah.
And when you read the first draft, it's not just hinted that Sydney's husband is Mark Kincaid from 3. It's actually, he's in it. He's briefly in the first draft.
Oh, is he? Okay.
So I can imagine, this person reading the script for the first time, working for a studio, but also being a Scream fan, saying, "Oh my God, Patrick Dempsey's in it, and Randy Sisters in it. They're bringing all these people back." So,
interesting, very interesting. So you got to see it super early, or hear about many aspects of it super early.
yes.
My God, I've got something. Somebody just mentioned your name in the chat. Let's have a look here. I watched Jamie Kennedy regularly. Did not want to be killed. He talks about it in his recent video about Screen 2022. I'll have to have a look at that. Cheers, Jigsaw. Mr. Jordan, Nate, did Wes have favourite character that has been killed off or he didn't want to go for any reason?
Probably Randy, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't think he wanted Randy to die.
Honestly, looking at some of these cast interviews of recent time, I mean, Paramount, Jesus Christ, the marketing for this damn thing has been absolutely goddamn nuts. I mean, it's Serial, for God's sake, Serial. I mean, it's just a small part of it, but the marketing has been absolutely bloody nuts. And many times on some of these cast interviews, Courtney, David, Nev, which is mainly the trio, most of the interviews, but a lot of the times they've said they felt Wes's presence, and I like to believe that he is somehow watching or viewing. And I really think, if you could have some sort of wavelength to contact Mr. Wes, of course we'd love it. But what was his thoughts? And I'd honestly say to him, if I had the chance, some sort of magic power, say, Wes, they killed Dewey. What the hell did you think? What did you? What happened to me in the cinema? I was sat there. My first ever cinema in a Clive Burkbench sparkly robe. And I was sat there. Bear in mind, I've been told to take the mask off. And I said, mate, trust me, I don't want the mask off. It's ugly underneath. But I've been told to take the mask off. Because somebody had stormed off in a huff. I walked in the cinema. I didn't acknowledge this girl. But there was a girl there that got very afraid of a ghost face being sat a few rows behind. But as she stormed out, complained to the people, the staff, and then they come in and said, look, just take the mask off, but you can watch the film. I says, okay. So as I'm sat there watching the film, we get to the part with Dewey. We've heard obviously Nate's take on it. Nate, thought one of them's going to go, and I wasn't sure whether any of them's going to go. Obviously the writers and directors not been watching this live stream and won't realise I'd be pissed off. But yeah, I'm sat there and I've got the hood up and I'm sparkling and I'm, just viewing, and I saw Dewey go back and I thought, you stupid sod, what's going to happen? And then as it slowly plays out, he gets his gun ready, bullets loaded, and you think, here we go, just shoot the fucker away. And I thought, here we go, could this be, my personal belief at the time was, could this be something different? Dewey fucks him up halfway through the film by shooting one in the head because he's got the sense and knowledge to think, well, let's take one out the proper way. Is it going to fuck him up with a reveal? Is it going to be 3 killers? This is what I was thinking. I thought, are we going to see something never seen, like the beginning, So I thought, is it going to be a 3rd killer and he's just fucked him up by shooting one in the head in the hospital? But then, of course, it plays out as it plays. Mr. Dewey got a fucking brutal kill. A brutal fucking kill. And I almost walked out. Honestly, I was moving in the chair like, I don't want to fucking watch this. I was pissed off. And Waterworks came on, And here's me, 44-year-old arsehole, Scream fan, Ghostface fan. And I was gutted. The pun, I was literally fucking gutted. You killed him, you bastards. What the fuck are you playing at? I was mad. So as soon as I come out of the cinema, I got onto Twitter, messaged David Arquette. I says, what the hell's going on? And he messaged back. I says, please respond. I says, 44 years old and you just made me cry. I says, it don't normally happen unless me and the missus have an argument. I says, what are you doing? Then he responded almost within 20 minutes. I was like, David, that was one of my favourite characters. None of the trio should have died. I was pissed off. I literally almost walked out. What do you think, Nate? Would I have been wrong to walk out, or I don't know? Was you mad?
I think you would have missed the second half of a pretty good movie.
No, it just.
But it definitely should. Yeah, I mean the passion's there. I mean it's you live and breathe these characters for 25 years, so to have one go and it just it really reminded me, which it's not it's not as like my thing as Scream, but it kind of felt like Star Wars, like Episode 7, where it was like, oh, they're making one after all these years, and they kill like Han Solo. It's like, fuck, what do they do that for?
Why?
Yeah,
but no. I know these films are 18 rated or R rated in the USA, but literally, it fucked me up. I had messages of fans on Twitter, girls mainly, saying, I see that you're angry and you don't want to put spoilers out. I says, yeah. I says, I'm angry about Dewey. And one of them sent me a video of her fucking crying, saying, I grew up with these characters and I'm pissed off that he's gone, I says, think of it this way, David's still here. I says, David's alright, it's just a fictional character, we've grew up with him, we've tried to grow up in my case. And we've been with him for a long time. To see one go was gut-wrenching, to say the bleeding least. But I says, think of Paul Walker, look at that poor chap. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. What happened and it's horrible. But we can never, ever, in any shape, way or form, come across him again. Says with Dewey, we've lost a character that was, as they say, a legendary character, an OG legacy, But David's still there, it's okay, reassurance. He's responding on messages, he knows we're unhappy. And if you look at Nick Meeser's website, he came across an article and he posted about it, and I think even David was gutted about it, Nate. He got to the page and his heart dropped, his heart sank. He's like, what the hell? But, I don't know. If it was your choice, Nate, Mr. Reagan, if somebody said to you, okay, Nate, we're going to do something and we want your involvement and feedback here, and this could define one way or the other. So if they said, right, Nate, which of the trio goes? Not to put you in a nasty position, but, what would you have... If you said, right, Dewey, Gale or Sydney, which goes? What would you think you would have done if you was director, producer, or writer, etc.? What would you have done?
That's tough, man. They're all
that is essential,
Holy Trinity.
Yeah. Not to put you in too nasty a position, but no, honestly, was it the right character to go? What do you really think as a long-time fan?
I think for the impact that I believe they were going for, I think it was the right choice as far as which character.
Yeah.
I think people still would have been gutted and shocked, even if it was, say, Gail. But I think that Gail, she had like, I feel like she had less to do in this movie, and even in like 4, I feel like she had a lot less to do than Dewey's character.
True.
Um,
True. Yeah.
Not that Gail's unimportant or wouldn't be missed, but I feel like the shock would have been there, but I don't know that the impact would have been the same for most people.
Yeah.
I think they went for the character that like is the heart of the series.
Yeah.
So I think for the reaction they were wanting to achieve, I think they made the right choice. But yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough to say either way, just because I'd rather go back to. I want this movie to exist, but I'd rather go back to like knowing like, oh, in Screamland, all 3 of those characters are fine and they just live happily ever after.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. That many people asked on the stream before, on even just chat online before the film came out. Says, oh, what do you want? I says, well, personally, I'd love them all to survive. I says, put them through hell, give them beatings, whatever you want to call it. I says, but let them survive somewhere in the back of the screen world. Whereas they're still there, living and breathing somewhere. But you got to give him a bit of credit, Mr. Dewey, as well, because while he was, listening very closely to Randy's rules in Scream 3 in the little video play back there, he was sort of almost taking notes, wasn't he? He did have his own set of rules he come up with in this one, which was absolutely bleeding spot on, because he said to to Sam, doesn't he? How long you known him? How long has he been your boyfriend? It's always a love interest, and he was there, he was on par. But they were that in disbelief. But the one thing that I really liked that hasn't been in the film since Scream 2 was he finally got his theme back, the Broken Arrow,
Yes.
Hans Zimmer theme. Yeah, so the Broken Arrow film, which is all from, they borrowed it in Scream 2 and they borrowed it. I wanted them to put it in Scream 4, but we never got it. But here we are, Scream 5. He appears and his music comes on. Yeah, you've got something right. His music's back. Here he is. He's willing to help. And the music lasted probably 40 seconds, if that, maybe 30 seconds. I was like, yes, they've got the track. They've got the proper track, the real one. All right, it's Broken Arrow, but to me it's Dewey. And then he starts helping him out. Next thing you know, he's being accused. I was like, for God's sake, you accusing him? He's come to help you. Forgot, in his little gathering chat at Heather's place or Randy's sister's. But I was like, yeah, you got this right, you got that right. Then you bloody killed him, you bastards. What are you fucking doing? But aside from that, yeah. Did you personally think, Mr. Nate, did you think it would follow the Scream 1 guideline with regards to how the film and where the film would end? Did you expect that? I know I was partly expecting it. Did you think it was going to end up, the big finale would be Stu's house again?
Yeah, I had a feeling, because obviously, we see that Stu's house is back in the trailer, and obviously on the poster. So I kind of assumed, like, if they were going to bring it back, they would try to bring it back in a big way. It is interesting, too, because I know that was Kevin's original idea for Scream 4. Like, his very first draft was that Kirby lived in Stu's old house. So the whole finale of Scream 4 was originally supposed to be in the kitchen from the original movie, which obviously they changed that.
Yeah.
But and the other thing I thought was funny was when we first cut to the party, they're using all these like real tight shots throughout the house, and the very first shot, I was like, oh, there's Stu's house. I just got so excited, not realizing that they were intentionally using these tight shots so it would kind of be a surprise. And you weren't really supposed to realize it till Sydney calls and is like, "You're at Stu's house," and it zooms out. Which most of the audience was, "Oh," and I just laughed, because the second that one first shot of Amber walking through the front door, I was like, "Oh, there's Stu's. Holy crap, we're there."
Yeah, I clocked it as well. And I thought, why are they not making a thing of this? Why is But then, of course, Sydney comes up with Gail, and I was surprised how quick Gail got shot. I was like, bloody hell, give her a chance. She's not even on the front porch yet.
Right.
I was like, come on. But that fake acting of Amber running out, I was like, God almighty, it's like something out of a fan film. I was like, come on. But, but yeah, the zoom out. But the one thing that got me, obviously with the marketing and the promotional clips, I know you've only watched like the first trailer, but even the behind the scenes shots before any of the trailers came out with Kevin and the killer with the knife in the ear, and you know, the one of Kevin, Gail and Courtney, it was always almost intended to be shoving Stu's ass in your face as soon as they humanly could possibly do it, you know. So I thought, yeah. What's going to be happening here? For me, I sometimes wonder, you know, why didn't they actually make some of the scene at least at the real property, or was there, you know, issues with the owners, etc., or was it just something else, or was it just purely because of lockdown and they needed the time and the space to be able to move and breathe freely, you know? Was there anything that you ever knew about personally, Mr. Nate, with the location?
Yeah, my understanding was that obviously they filmed the movie in North Carolina for like the tax breaks, for the tax credits
Wilmington
that they get. And the right, and I guess like there's very strict rules that they have to follow to get those tax credits, and one of them says that like there's a very high percentage of the movie that has to be shot there.
Okay.
So it's not like oh, you can film half the movie here, or a third of the movie, or 2/3 of it here, and then you can film the rest somewhere else, and you still get it's like 98% of the film has to be shot in that state in order for them to get all the tax breaks. So it was kind of one of those things. It's like they couldn't film at the house.
Plus there was COVID as well, I suppose. It was still into the deep into the first lockdown, wasn't it? And everyone was wearing masks, and a couple of crew members that actually contracted it at some point as well. So yeah. No, I did
and
wonder.
There was a lot of the feedback. Like I keep seeing a lot of feedback online. Like there's a lot of people that were like, "Oh, I didn't even believe that they were high school kids at high school in the high school scenes, because we only see them outside and they're sitting by themselves at a picnic table and there's hardly anybody else around, and it was so unrealistic and didn't make sense." And it's like, well, you have to understand, this was shot during like the height of the pandemic. And it was one of the only movies that was like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and do it. If you remember, a lot of movies were like shutting down. They were delayed. And Paramount and Scream, they're like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it safe. So, originally there were supposed to be scenes inside the school with a lot of students. But obviously it's had to change because of COVID. So I tell people, like, keep that in mind when you nitpick, like, oh, they're in a bar and there's nobody else around, or oh, they're at school and there's like 2 other students in the background. Well, they filmed it in the middle of the pandemic, so
that's true. One thing that I've seen pop up, which I believe is, I suppose it's a valid question, but maybe again you might know more on this, Mr. Nate, because you have a script and you may have seen parts of the script. Obviously, we haven't seen. And there may have been scene edits or deleted scenes, etc., on the future Blu-ray or whatever comes out. But one comment that came up was the Vince character. You know, who was this Vince character? Why was he so brief? He was in it for like 3-4 minutes and then he was gone. You know, any thoughts on the Vince character yourself? Do you think he possibly may have had a different role? Do you know more because of the script? You know, what's your thoughts on him lasting a few minutes?
I mean, I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, I was okay with it, because I kind of looked at it as like he was just kind of like the super quick kill, like early on in the movie. Because if you think about it, nobody had been killed yet at that point.
True.
We were two attacks, or two attack into. We had an opening scene attack. Nobody died in the opening scene, so I kept waiting for something. And I kind of like that they kind of shove him in your face in the beginning, and it's just like, oh, he's creepy, he's a little weird, he's got the black boots. That he's a potential suspect in my head, and then they just kill him. It's like, oh, okay, so much for that. But in the script, he does have a little bit more.
Okay.
actually in the shooting script and in the first draft, I don't know if you and I had talked about this or
No,
not.
not
I don't think
previously.
so. But Dewey's introduced in the bar scene.
Ah,
And if you look, there's some pictures floating around online of Dewey sitting at the bar with Vince.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So in the script, basically they kind of explain more that it's like a bar / pool hall, and the pool hall section is for like kids that are underage, like where high school kids are not old enough to drink. They go to the pool hall part, and then the bar part is the adults that are old enough to drink. So basically, they explain that. They show the whole layout. They show that Tara and Sam's mom is there, wasted. She doesn't have any lines, but they do introduce her in the script. And the kids are basically talking about her. And then the vent scene happens the way that it does in the movie, but the person that actually breaks up the fight is Dewey. Yeah. So Dewey comes to the bar and he's drunk, and he intervenes and breaks up the fight between Vince and Chad, and Vince and Dewey actually end up getting into a physical fight in the bar. And that's when they're all thrown out. And then in the script, Vince thinks that Dewey is the one that's like messing with his car, like like hollering, like, "Oh, is that you, Riley?" when the headlights come on and everything. Yeah. So after Vince is killed, then there's a whole other scene where the sheriff is interrogating Dewey at the police station. So Judy's interrogating Dewey because Vince is just murdered, and she knows that Dewey had just gotten into a physical fight with him. So there's a little bit more to it, and I think they go a little bit deeper into. I know they say like, "Oh, Vince is Stu's nephew," or they say it like just kind of offhand, but they explain a little bit more in the script that like Stu's sister, I think her name's Leslie in the script. It's like Leslie Mocker. So apparently Stu had a sister, and Vince is her kid.
Right.
So that's, and I know, I can tell you that I know that stuff was shot. The Dewey and Vince fighting at the bar was shot. The police station interrogation with Dewey was shot. Now, Vince's death was completely different in the first draft of the script, but I don't believe that was shot. I think they only shot the version we got. But in the first draft, after he gets kicked out of the bar, Vince actually gets in his, I think he drives a truck in the script. He gets in his truck and leaves, and he ends up getting a flat tire down the road. And when he gets out, there's like a buck knife stuck in the tire. So he's trying to change the tire, and Ghostface attacks him while he's changing the tire. He has to like hide under the truck from Ghostface, and it's pretty crazy scene. Little elaborate. It was a little bit elaborate. I think that's why they changed it.
Right.
But yeah.
So
Vince did have...
Okay, you're definitely living up to that Niagara Falls of info, Nate. Eh? Definitely. Let me check the comments here. Let's have a look. We got a cut with. My biggest nitpick with the franchise is all the other killers are never acknowledged. It's always just Billy and Stu. Like, I want some discussion about Mickey, Mrs. Loomis, Roman, Jill and Charlie. Oh yeah, I can see that Mickey in the chat there. Mr. Meese, no marketing will ever touch Scream 3's numerous magazines, fake websites. Well, true, yeah. Vital marketing contest, it was nuts. That's before my internet time, so I missed that sadly. Screen Ghost said if he had to pick one of the trio, it would have been Gail. Okay. Vince, I would have been more shocked if it was Sydney, knowing that we knew she now had kids. Yeah, definitely. So Vince is like Principal Himbry. He was killed because it's been a while since somebody was killed. Well, yeah, maybe. But as you just heard Nate say with regards to the script he's got, obviously it was a bit more different with Vince's original scenes. But I wonder what's going to come out on the the Blu-ray and DVDs, etc. in the future now. But yeah, but there was a lot of new stuff in this film, and I don't hate the film. I always hate Dewey's Gone, but one of the other things that we'd never seen in any other Scream film, and I'm sure any fan watching this live or even at a later time, we all realised that all of a sudden we had a new focus of a character of Sam. Obviously, she tells the story to her sister. And next thing you know, Ghostface, as we were saying earlier with Nate, Ghostface is appearing in daylight, except this time in a hospital. Now, obviously, there was a lot of hospital scenes in Scream 4 as well, but this time with regards to the hospital, which I can bring up other things about the hospital things as well, but what was your reaction, Mr. Nate, when all of a sudden the film plays as it plays and we look up and there he is, a half real, a half CGI Skeet, aka Billy Loomis. What did you think when you're like, hang on, Billy's back? in a way. What did you think watching that for the first time?
I mean, I gotta say, I did not see it coming. Like most people, I knew that Skeet was involved in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. I had no idea what. I had just assumed it was like voiceover, maybe something similar to like Scream 3, where Sydney's in the stab set and she's kind of remembering.
Yeah.
You're hearing parts from the original movies. And I thought, honestly, if he did appear, I thought we were going to get a flashback. It was going to be in some form of flashback because, we had Stu's house.
Yeah.
We had Skeet's probably coming back. We had those rumors. We knew that Kevin Williamson said in that interview that, they needed a mask from the first movie, so they borrowed mine. Yeah. So, I don't know, like, I feel like most people, I was like, wow, this is going to result in a flashback. Maybe there was a third killer.
Yeah.
Maybe, we're going to flash back to Stu's and see that there was actually a third person helping. That was my, like, honest guess going in the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was completely wrong. And the second they showed Billy just standing there, like, 20 minutes into the movie, I was shocked.
Yeah.
It was very not Scream-like, but I don't think necessarily in a bad way. I did read an interview with Kevin recently where he had said that that was the one of the main. Obviously, he had input on the script and like things like let's not do this, let's do this. One of the main things that he found in the script that didn't feel like a Scream movie was the Billy hallucinations. But he specifically said in the interview, he's like, but I told them to leave it in for that reason. He's like, I went to them and said, this doesn't feel like Scream, guys, but I really want you to leave it in for that reason. So.
Yeah, I think it was good that it was always involved because we needed Kevin back again. No offense to Matt and Tyler and anyone else on the crew. Chad, the two writers, but yeah. I know at one point, obviously, Kevin's mask was there, and I do remember hearing a reliable whisper that another fan's Fantastic Faces was there, and we always stuck in my head was, will we get some sort of flashback where Billy or Stu's just do whatever they're doing with an old mask, because that's what the masks were back then. And I honestly imagined after seeing Billy in the rearview mirror when Sam's driving and he's saying, we're going to cut some fucking throats, and I thought, God, it wouldn't have been so brilliant if they just added to that shot him putting on one of those Fantastics.
Right.
And then just cut it, whatever. But, just to see one of the old masks again, it would have been, just cherry on the cake of that little bit of scene. And I thought, yeah. But to see Skeet, I was like, Jesus Christ, he's looks about 21 years old. What have they been doing? But, yeah, but he stays in shape from the look of him. But, yeah, I thought, God, if Billy's appearing to Sam, where are we going to see Stu end up? And then rumour comes long after I've seen the film that Stu was the person with the cut-off sleeves and the Silver Crow mask for the stab film, and apparently Drew Barrymore's in there somewhere as well. What do you know about that?
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't see those were some of the little Easter eggs that I didn't pick up on.
Yeah.
Like I did watch. I was watching the whole time for that mask. I was like, I want to see that Fantastic Faces mask. And Kevin's in it. I kept waiting. And obviously it wasn't there, but we've since found out that there was originally a scene, and it is in the script,
right,
where we see some footage from like a true crime like documentary on the Woodsboro murders, and it shows crime scene footage from 1996
Okay.
inside Stu's house. So that was what they wanted Kevin's mask for, was they were trying to recreate the crime scene, like Billy's body laying there. They were going to have him in the house dead with the mask behind him on the floor.
Yeah.
They were going to show like the TV come off of Stu's head and then put him in a body bag and
Oh.
put Billy in a body bag and take him out of the house. But I don't believe they shot that stuff, but I could be wrong.
Mm.
I don't. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that it was shot.
Yeah.
I do know that it's in the script. That was what they needed Kevin's mask for.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was very surprised to learn that Mr. Lillard was in the crow mask. I was like, well, one way of getting him back in the film without making Scream unbelievable, definitely, because that TV had to have a hell of a heavy landing. But aside from
Right.
that, yeah, it was God Almighty. The amount of people that would speculate online, Twitter, and social media, etc., saying, "Oh, Stu's coming back. I think this. I think that." You're like, well, it's okay to think it, and it is a bit daft, but we will see. And obviously it played out how it played out. But the one, it just, I don't know. Like my missus says, "Oh, I wonder if the Dewey could ever come back." I was like, well, it was in a body bag. The body bag sort of sealed the deal for me. I thought, well, that's it. They've really killed this
Right.
bitch. But I don't know. It was, I don't know. The Dewey thing's a painful one for me, definitely. But again, Mr. Meese, Nick Meese, Screen Trilogy had an article recently, and apparently the directors had filmed an extra bit of what they were disgusted to call a shot, as they called it. Did you hear this, Nate? I don't know if you've heard this on this
Yeah.
article. Yeah, that they'd
Yeah.
apparently done some sort of shot with a pair of legs in the background, and the doctor saying, "Yeah, he's going to be okay." And I was like, "What?" And they had no effing intention of using it, apparently. But if the audience was pissed off with Dewey going, Paramount had some sort of scenes filmed where they was going to possibly, a bit like the end of Scream 1, where, if people like Dewey, they're going to let him live. But did you hear anything on that yourself, Nate?
Yeah, that was my understanding too. That it was basically the studio. It wasn't even the producers. It was the studio that was like, can we just have like one shot where we can fix it if
Yeah.
we need to, like, before it is released. But they were pretty sure that it wasn't going to be used, so they didn't even really bother to do it correctly.
Come on, Nate, get in touch. Tell him. Say, oi, Wagstaff ain't happy. Come on.
Yeah.
The UK Ghostface is extremely mad and he's going to come looking for you. Oh, God. Oh, I don't know. So, as we're nearing the end of the film with regards to, how we've been talking about it, what was your thoughts with regards to the reasoning why they was doing what they were doing? Was you surprised by, say, I guess Jack Quaid, you was suspicious of Jack Quaid. What was your thoughts on the second killer? When all seemed to come into focus and, this is the reasons why, What was Nate's thoughts when he was like, Ion, this is a second killer?
I was okay with it. I liked the motive. I liked the commentary on toxic fandom. I was actually, it's kind of one of those motives where I was like surprised. It's like, wow, I'm surprised it took him this long to have that as a motive. Like,
Yeah.
to have like the killers basically be like, oh, we're doing this so that there can be another stab movie that's actually good. It's kind of simple like that. I was surprised it kind of took that long to have that as a motive, because it makes sense. I can, in that world, in that universe, I can absolutely see that as being a logical thing that would happen. I believed it completely. I mean, especially with the way some people act in real world.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. The Jesus Christ. I always, as I said earlier, I always felt it was a bit weird that Gail got shot before she even laid a step into Stu's house, and then of course Sydney has to carry on, do it for Dewey, etc. And I always liked to see how Sydney first talked to the Ghostface voice, and she's like, "Oh, hello, yeah," because that's like her first interaction, wasn't it? So in a way, for me, Sydney sort of almost mirrored her Scream 3 role in the way that she appears at the beginning, then appears just over sort of halfway, and then stays to the end. I thought, yeah, there's a little bit of Scream 3-ish about Sydney here. And she's talking, and then she just goes around shooting the doors, and then bullseye, she gets one of the some bitches. But again, you know, she's actually sort of a step ahead in a way there, and then of course it goes how it goes. But the one thing that gets me with who killed who, I mean, this is obviously always speculation with the first Scream, but the one thing that I struggled to believe was Dewey's death. In the way that we know it wasn't the Jack Quaid or the Richie character that killed him. It was the Amber character. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. You know, but this is where the stuntmen and the, you know, just the Ghostface as a figure and how it's filmed comes into play in it. But I look at the kill of Dewey, one, it peed me off, but two, how the hell, again in the Scream world, I could be nitpicking here, Nate, so I apologise, but how in the hell could a girl of Amber's sort of figure, height, weight, build, etc., take out a person like Dewey that was obviously maybe experiencing some police brutality or clever moves, or, you know, all right, so he didn't get to shoot his gun again. But that always surprised me with Dewey's death is that it was the smaller of the killers, so to speak, that took him out. And then she insults him. Oh yeah, he died like a pussy as well. And I thought, you cheeky bitch, you know. Of course, Gail gives her a punch anyway, and then, you know, she gets to shoot her, and, you know, Stu's kitchen almost goes up in bloody flames. But I don't know. Do you sort of see that side as the reasoning as to what I'm saying, or do you think I'm overlooking it a bit?
No, I mean, I get it completely. I just kind of like explain it. For me, I just explain it away in my head as like, I mean, she did catch him off guard, so you know, the phone ringing distracted him.
Yeah.
At which point she plunges the buck knife into his stomach, which caught him off guard. And then she immediately starts ripping it upwards. So I just kind of, I think if without that moment, I think if they had actually been physically fighting, and she killed him like that, I would have been less. It would have been less believable. I think that's the only thing that saves it for me, is that she completely caught him off guard. I mean, he thought he was walking up to an already dead killer, just making sure they're dead. I'm just going to make sure we're going to shoot him in the head. But he approached them as if they were already dead, and then that phone rang, and that's all it took. So as far as, like, you know, like you said, that's just something that, you know, we just all have to live with in all the films. I used to nitpick it more so back in the day, until I kind of like realized, like, none of it ever matches up perfectly. Like the actors that play the killers, they're always in every movie, they're either shorter or taller than the stuntmen that play Ghostface. So I just something I just live with. It's
just one of those things.
One of those things.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I can understand that. It was, I don't know. It was. I still can't get over how brutal the bloody kill was, but as you, I mean, the movie plays out obviously start to finish, and you get your own idea and thoughts of it. But what do you think? I think personally, Dewey was probably possibly most brutal death. Do you think the same? Do you think similar? What's your idea of the most brutal death, do you think?
I would say in this film, yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Was you a little bit peeved or annoyed when Judy went, or was you partly expecting that?
I was. I mean, it threw me off because she was on my list of suspects going in. Because again, going in, I kind of, like everybody else, was like, I think we're going to get a flashback. And in my mind, I was like, we're probably going to get a flashback that shows that Judy was at the party and maybe she helped somehow. So I kind of had that in the back burner. You know, I was like, that's one of my theories floating around up there. And then when she went, I was like, well, there goes that one.
She did actually fuel that theory up a little bit, because you remember in Scream 4 when she's just sort of lurking on the top landing in Jill's hat, and she just appears, and she's like, what the hell? I honestly thought she was a killer in Scream 4 at first. I was like, why is she just stood there watching, viewing, hovering, you know, just taking in whatever Sydney was saying to Jill? I was thinking, why is she hovering there? Why is she not, excuse me, sorry to insult, you know. So I was always concerned from Scream 4. But yeah, when she was walking around her own house in Scream 5, goes to lock that door, and of course there was a couple of things where they're trying to fool you there on the shots, like where Wes closes the the fridge door, and you think, yeah, they're trying to get us here. Next thing you know, Ghostface is there.
Oh,
Say again?
I thought they did that really well. I thought they did that scene really well with the fake outs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was different, and I was like, yeah, they're trying to one up a little bit here, but I don't know. Let me look at the chat because we got some more. Let's have a look. I believe. What's this? No staff in the hospital because of COVID. Stu is in prison plotting it all. Okay. Hey Nate, I'm the one who you responded to about Kevin's mask on Twitter. Oh, Carl Cabrera there. Yeah, Carl's known in community. Vince, I thought Billy was all CGI. Surprised when I seen backstage photos of Twitter on ski. Yeah, true. It wasn't as much CGI as you think. I believe, says Christian, Matt Lillard only did the voice for Chromeface. Voice? I'm not sure about that one. Yet to confirm, I suppose. Chromeface is a good name for that character. Is actually Silverface, Chrome Mask, Silver Mask. I've seen Nate's name. Where was it? Can Nate tell us what masks were used in the film? Nate does have a mask. I don't mean to be nasty to Nate. I'm not being bad in any way here, but I'll say this. RJ sent over 100 masks to the set. Yeah. Anyone ever remember the picture that appeared online? There was a picture of an ultrawhite on some like BMX handlebars, yeah? And everyone's like, oh no, they're using the ultrawhite as a killer's mask. We never saw that in the film, to my knowledge. Where the hell did that go, And RJ said, oh, maybe they're in the background, but he didn't know. But RJ sent ultrawhites, metallics, the oil slick mask, resurrection masks, and many other different types of masks to the set. He then gave masks out to people after the filming. Obviously, they didn't send every single mask back. Nate was one of the lucky people that received one of the masks, as well as Meggie, as well as John Valeri, as well as other people I honestly forget off the top of my head at this time. But Nate did a video recently, and again, I will urge you to look at Reagan Productions on YouTube. Mr. Nate will be there, giving you all this beautiful info, this Niagara Fall of fountain knowledge here. And Nate does have a mask. Would you like to show your mask, Nate? Do you want to show it again?
Yeah.
I've recently heard a bit of information about this mask off RJ too, but I'll let Nate show it. It's he's not going to have it too long because he's sending it to the UK soon, apparently. in exchange for a resurrection mask, I hear. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I love resurrection masks. I do.
Yeah. But yeah, go on then, Nate. Let's. If for anyone that's not seen Nate's video, go look at this after the stream by all means. But yeah, what can you tell us then, Nate? What's this mask?
So yeah, it's my understanding that it's one of the ones that was made specially for the film. There were a few different ones. As you said, they did send all sorts of different types and a large quantity, mainly because of COVID.
Yeah.
I don't really know the exact protocols that they used on set. I keep trying to figure that out. I had heard at first that like they would film with a mask all day and then they would like throw that one away.
Right.
And another one. Then I heard that they didn't actually throw them away. It was just like they were like extensively cleaned afterward. I heard lots of stuff, so
right.
I'm still trying to sort that out.
Okay.
But basically, of the mask types that were sent, the ones that were actually used for the killer was the resurrection style, the 25th anniversary style, and the style that I have, which is like closer to what they made for Scream 4.
Yes.
We'll say that.
Okay, yeah. Oh, basically these styles are EU stamps as well, aren't they, on the back of the chin?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had a little chat with RJ the other day, and a long time ago, RJ, as he always does with his cryptic tweets, he put up something a long time ago that I mentioned on the stream many times, and I think I even asked RJ about it when he came on the stream once when he was on the phone call, and I said, RJ, come on, you put up this tweet, it was quite a task, but what a mask. You know, tell me. And for months on private calls, emails, I'm not telling you. When the time's right. I was like, for God's sake. I says, it's driving me nuts. So the phone the other day, I said, RJ, come on, finally. What's the matter? I says, it was quite a task, but what a mask. Inform me, come on, what's the info? You know what, I think Nate got that mask. I said, oh, did he? I says, right, so if I get the mask off Nate, it's okay. So these masks, apparently there was a very low amount made. This is also on a phone call I made earlier today. I phoned RJ up, probably 3 minutes of phone call. I says, RJ, I just want a little bit of info. I've got Nate coming on later, possibly Meggie, but, you know, this mask. So a very low amount was made, sent to set. Whether they was reshrouded or not, I have no idea. I don't know what, whether he's put anything on your LOA, Nate, and that. If you want to keep that private, that's fine, that's okay. But he just said it was a different mix used for the masks, and he also believed that some resurrection masks were used for killer masks, which as Nate has just said. The question I had with regards to the resurrection mask, I says, RJ, if you remember correctly, you wrote on the side of the mouth and the chin on the resurrection mask, you know, MTV series or whatever it says on mine. I've had to check what it says. It basically had a number, MTV Scream or whatever it said, number 5, number 4, number 6, whatever. And he says, yeah, but if you're doing shots where the mask is moving, are you really going to see that all the time? Are they going to CGI it out? Is it even there? You know. So he believes resurrections were used, of course, which we do expect. And with regards to, I believe, what Nate has in his possession just there, that it was a different mix of mask materials, meaning it wasn't just the soft PVC, as they call it. It was latex was involved as well. It was a different mix, and it was a much more, I don't know if you've got it in front of you there, Nate, but it was just a beautiful mask, wasn't it? Much more sort of precise, very neat paint job. And I know, like a high quality mask, similar like HH and a resurrection mask. So I believe.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the production batch that was sent to set originally for Scream 4
Right.
of the deluxe. They
Yeah.
you know, where later came called the deluxe mask. Even we got in stores wasn't exactly what they sent to set.
Yeah.
But that's what it reminds me of. It's more closer to the quality that those were made.
Right, okay. Yeah, I believe you are the only fan. So you're lucky man, very lucky man. This Clarion man is very lucky. this Clarion man, it's Nate Reagan, not a Clarion man, you disrespectful git. It's Nate Reagan. Remember that name? The people that called you Clarion man, yes. But Nate Reagan is, I believe, the only fan to have one of these very special killer masks, and nothing against anyone else that got masks from the set. But I believe Nate got one of the better quality and the better looking ones, and well deserved as well. And if anyone didn't know, which you damn well should know, end credits, stay till the very end. You will see this man's name at the end credits. RJ Torbett, Alan Geller, Funworld staff, and there he is. Nate Reagan. I was like, look at that. I stayed all the way to the end. The usher's looking at me like, yeah, come on, get out of it. I'm like, no. I'm waiting, mate. I want to see Mr. Reagan. What are you talking about? I says, yeah, don't you worry, mate. You go back to sleep. And there it comes. Nate Reagan. I was like, yeah, now I've seen Nate's name and now I've seen the Ghostface logo, I can head out and go scare some people. Without the mask. So I will say, Nate, congratulations on the credit. It was well deserved. You have helped out with Scream 4 and Scream 5. Your name should have been in credits for Scream 4, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on what you've received. Again, a fountain of info and a Niagara Falls of info is Mr. Nate Reagan. I'm seeing more chat. So let me just have a look. Maybe she was methed up. Which one was that about? Maybe she was on PCP. Oh, she's on about when she's lurking in the shadows in Scream 4, I think. She caught him off guard, says Christian, I think, and he's much weaker now after almost dying multiple times, and now that he's a hermit living off Slim Jims. Poor Dewey. One girl spoke to me. She was pissed off that he lived in a caravan. I was like, well, it is what it is. Hello, show. Hello. Vince, the bedroom scene in Scream 4 was brutal as well. The amount of blood used in the room. Yes, Nate's got some bits, I believe, from that. In the room, and the quick shot of the body. Yes, of Olivia. Yeah. Jigsaw. Meggie has a nice collection. So jealous. I would die for a mass center set. Ooh. RJ still got some, but they're mainly ultras, I believe. So they did use the 25th anniversary Sparkle Hood. I need a resurrection to complete movie mask. Well, many people want a resurrection. Nate is legit a legend. Yes, Nate is many things. He is a Clarion man, but I wish people would respect this man and use his proper name. But yes, Nate, as I keep saying, Niagara Falls of information. So I highly urge you look up Reagan Productions on YouTube. Go into many of his videos, not always Scream related, but it doesn't matter. He keeps it interesting. His son Channing is there. He's got, the Fight Club shorts, for God's sake. This man knows what he likes, knows what he collects, and has had a hell of a lot of stuff in and out of his life with regards to the Scream films as well, KMBs, etc. But I don't know. Overall, though, Nate, the question remains, Mr. Reagan. What, personally, do you think will happen, from me to you, fan to fan, what do you think will happen in the future if we get a 6th film? Do you think there'd be any involvement at all from Courtney or Nev, or do you believe that the sisters could carry on their own in their Scream universe with, Sydney and Gail living somewhere in that universe? What do you think?
I think that they set it up nicely to where it could work either way. I think that we could have a Scream 6 that didn't have any of the legacy characters in it at this point. But I also think, we could have one where, kind of like this one, they kind of cut through the story. They kind of, make their way into the story somehow. Yeah. But I could, especially with Gail, I could see like a Scream 6 where she only appears like on TV. Like I could see that.
Yeah.
A cameo on her show or whatever. I kind of like the idea of Sydney not putting herself in danger anymore.
Yeah. Well, having a family, and apparently 2 girls, and Mark Kincaid possibly as a husband. Yeah, she wants to keep him. She said, didn't she? I'm going to keep him.
Yeah. So I could see either way.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's really really interesting about the Scream franchise is that, we've had these movies they've spanned 25 years now, and we've had 5 of them, and none of them are bad. They're all good. Some are a lot better than others. But to have 5, we're on number 5.
Yeah.
And we're still getting really good films out of the series, which is, to me, really impressive. And also they seem to always end in a way where there could be another one, but you literally have no idea what it would be.
Yeah. One of the most beautiful things about Ghostface, apart from his many mask types and his gorgeous looks and his peanut eyes, is the fact that this is not some sort of superhuman, immortal superhero killer. Like, how many times could Freddy take a beating? How many times could Jason? How many times could Mike? How many times could these so-called human killers that are just one person, keep coming back from a pickaxe in the head or being shot or blown up, So with Ghostface, it's just the pure beauty and genius, which they've said in many of the cast videos, that it's just a mask and a costume, So somebody with some sort of motive can always pick up the voice change of the costume, and Funworld need to be careful about that.
All right.
RJ, be careful. But that's the genius with Ghostface. Definitely, I'm sure you agree, Nate, that the fact that it can be reborn in a realistic way for another film at any given time, and whether it's whatever voice changer, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's the voice. But I really personally wonder if there's a Scream 6, if Nev and Courtney, whether they're more prominent or whether they're brief like they are in Scream 5. But the worry that I'd always have is, if they are back, whether it's brief or whatever, if they was more prominent, would they bloody kill one of them two? And then you know, could I even take that, you know? And would somebody somewhere say, well, look, you know, you can't have them both back and survive again because Dewey went last time and now you got to get rid of another. You know, there's always that opinion, isn't there? So, yeah, I just like to think they're out there in the screen world, and even if you're saying like a brief cameo, just to see that Sydney's fine. Even get an insight to Sydney and Mark Kincaid, you know, the girls, you know, do the girls know the mum's passed or she kept it from them? You know, would a Scream 6, if they were for whatever reason, to focus it more on Sydney, would it be wrong because she's been through enough? You know, there's that many ways it could be done, isn't there? But they've twisted it to the way of more that the sisters are going to carry it on, and whichever way it goes from here, you know, will we see the legacy cast just briefly appear, which I suppose is more realistic, but I don't know. Time will tell, won't it? Time will tell. Let's have a look. Nate said they used the 25th anniversary mass in the movie. Just want to confirm. That is what Nate said. If you're up to date with social media, Mr. Jordan, you will know that Maggie Blaine did receive a 25th anniversary mass without a tag, and it was off the set of Scream 5. And I believe RJ thinks he saw a 25th anniversary in there. I'm not sure where, but yeah. Nick Meese, oh, he's talking. Nate's the man. He's a Clarion man, but he's Nate Reagan. that'll never leave you now, Nate. You know that. He's going to block me after this stream, you know. If you keep calling me Clarion man, I tell you what,
I need a t-shirt that says that.
Yeah, Clarion man. Shall I get a t-shirt made for you from Clive? Yeah. Clive likes making t-shirts. I say, Clive, Clarion man on the t-shirt, and I'll send him some cereal. What's this? I sort of wanted the story to include some lore about the masks, retroactive. Well, yeah. Where the mask came from, maybe, yeah. I did see Maggie's video on that. Okay. During the Judy kill, you can see 2 hoods on Ghostface. I'll have to have a look at that. I'll have to have a look. Well, if anyone in the chat, if you want to ask Nate anything, bear in mind, we've gone on a little bit, but it's good because it's Nate. The more content of Reagan is the better, in my opinion. So if you want to ask Nate something else while he's still here, because we've been going almost 2 hours since the start of the stream, not me, Nate. But yeah, if anyone's got a question for Nate, he helped with Scream 4, he helped with Scream 5. Obviously, he's got a hell of a bloody collection, which is actually shipping in a container to the UK soon. Would you believe?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's on its way.
But no, just for a box of cereal. What do you think, Nate? Just in case anyone's typing away at the minute with a question, but in all the time we've had these Scream films, yeah, we've never had, until now, a cereal that's Scream related. What do you think? Was it a good thing to do? Was it the wrong thing to do? Or did they go over the top with the marketing?
I think it was awesome. I'm all for the you know, serial promotions with any movie. You know, I searched high and low for the Ghostbusters cereal that came out last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for it. I was just bummed that it was UK only, and I was actually looking the other day, because of course the website that you buy it from, they don't ship to the US.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, someone's got to have it on eBay. Well, to get it on eBay, it's like $80. Like that's what they're selling for. So I was like, oh my gosh.
$80? Serious?
Uh-huh.
God. You know what I'd want for one of these? Just a Scream 5 used mask, that's all I'd want. Yeah.
Great. That's not asking much.
And some Fight Club shorts, you know, nothing too big, you know. Well, I'll tell you what, Nate. As you grace me with your presence again and the stream of your presence, you've kindly come on at short notice as well. I'll see if I can sort you out a box of cereal. I will try, and I'll see what I can come up with. I'm not sure if it's sold out. I haven't checked the website recently, but I will try. But I do have 2 boxes here. Should we sacrifice one of the boxes for Mr. Reagan? For Mr. Reagan, the Clarion man. The Clarion man. Question to you both. Okay. The Casey scene is excluded. What is your favourite Ghostface kills? people are selling the Scream popcorn bucket and kit for over 100. Okay, yeah. So, Mr. Vince, to both of us, Nate, he says, what's your favourite kill? I'll let you say your favourite kills. Obviously, I'm guessing it's between Scream 1 to 5, of which ones?
Excluding Casey would be definitely Phil in Scream 2.
Right.
I love that. I love him getting stabbed through the bathroom stall.
Yeah.
I really like Tyson's kill in 3 when he's running away and he pulls the rug out from him. It literally looks like Stuntman broke his neck.
Yeah.
Literally looks like a picture.
That poor Stuntman.
Yeah. And honestly, in this new one, I really, really, really liked. I liked Vince's kill. I liked that it was just like he just got him right in the right spot in the neck.
Yeah.
And I love that we just basically watch Vince choke on his own blood while Red Right Hand's playing in the background. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that song came on. I was like, Jesus, they're going back in time with this, because it wasn't really in Scream 4, was it? In Scream 3, it's a different version. Or was it Scream 2? There was a different version of one of them, wasn't there? They sort of changed it up a little. I think the end of Scream 3 credits, it was a little different. But favourite kills aside from Casey, and the first one, the TV on the head's always got to be a good one. Himbury was like an old-fashioned kill to me, stomach. He was screaming his head off, poor old Henry Winkley, wasn't he? But Wes is probably telling him to. So yes, TV on the head's not often seen, although it does happen in John Cusack and Dan Aykroyd in Grosse Pointe Blank. I was like, you copying Scream? Because that was a 1997 film. Which I thoroughly enjoyed, Grosse Pointe Blank. But I was like, TV on the head, down he goes, So TVs on the head's literally a killer. Scream 2, I like the officers dying because that was a stunt that went wrong, if I remember correctly. So the pole through the head, and Cece is another good one I liked because you wouldn't expect Sarah Michelle Gellar to get it. But I liked Cece, and I like the pole through the head on the driving and Ghostface crashing. The throat slit was a bit, oh Jesus, made me feel sick. But the pole through the head and Wes saying, oh, it came out wrong, but we're going to keep it. So I like that one. But Scream 3 death, I think like Nate says, Tyson's there running, you got this big long rug, and he just like, come here, you're not going anywhere, you little shit. Down he goes. And then he launches him off the bloody balcony just to make sure, It's like saying, run that person over, then reverse over him to make sure he's still dead, for God's sake. But Scream 5 kill, the Dewey one I think was the most brutal, which obviously I didn't like, so that I didn't like to see Dewey go, but what Nate says, the simplicity of the Vince one is nice, but kill-wise, Jesus Christ, man, I'm trying to remember what. Richie's seemed a bit prolonged because he is there bloody getting stabbed, and then he's still trying to talk with a mouth full of blood, and I'm like, what about my ending? Like, what are you bothered about the ending for? You're in bloody pieces here, mate. The Amber's kill was possibly one of my favourites because she killed Dewey.
Was I the only one, by the way? They caught her on fire. I was like, please don't burn the house down. Please don't make Stu's house.
Like, don't let it get out of control.
Put her out. Yeah, please don't let the house burn down. Don't let this movie end with the house in flames.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't burn it to the ground, for God's sake. Yeah. Definitely. Josh, I can't pronounce the last name. Josh Sauer. However you pronounce your last name, Josh, I apologise. But Josh in the chat, as a former scare actor, where would you suggest one would have the best luck finding a HHN Ghostface? Just among Scream fans.
That's for you.
Yeah, among Scream fans. Unfortunately, that's not a Nate question. But yeah, among Scream fans, is possibly among Facebook groups, you possibly may find one. The Jigsaw. Good luck, Josh. I've been searching for a HHN forever. If you do need HHNs identified, I can help greatly with that. I'm not an expert, but I can definitely tell you what they do and don't have. I got Chucky vibes when her face melted. On point, says Josh. Yeah, but aside from that, Attaboy, says Josh. But yeah, Facebook groups is possibly where the fans talk the most. Even on Instagram, possibly here and there. But yeah, HHNs. Just be careful what you pay for them, and be careful of what people are saying is a HHN, because trust me, they can be mistaken. Somebody recently paid £150 of English money, and it was a first run deluxe with very thin mesh and nothing like a HHN apart from the header tag, which is just the same. But yeah, someone £150 for a mask that was worth half that, and it wasn't even a HHN, so be careful. Did anybody get the Screen Popcorn Bucket and Cup? CC's Death is by far my favourite, says Mr. Meese. Yeah, CC's was a good one. I like the whole scene of CC's. I did hear only recent time. I don't know. You know anything about this, Nate? I know you have some behind the scenes info from like Skip and JP and that, but I heard in recent time that Sarah Michelle Gellar was possibly a little bossy, and she was advising Wes as how she thought the scene could go. Anything ever crop up like that in your past?
I've heard stuff.
Yeah, just similar sort of thing. Yeah, yeah. I know she was a bit iffy on the phone with Roger. Oh, so you're Mr. Scary voice, huh? And whatever else she said. But yeah, I could actually believe that was Sarah. But yeah. I've heard the actor masks did not glow and were free of any marks. Yes, that is correct, Josh. That is correct. Oh, hang on. There you go, Nate. Retroactive. Hi, Nate. I was wondering how far the research has gone into Screen 1 boots. I saw your videos on the Screen 2022 boots. I'm interested in helping find them. So, what do you know then, Nate?
Yeah, so people have been trying to find them for 25 years,
Yeah.
and I feel like, honestly, we're really not any closer than we were 25 years ago.
Are they that much of a puzzler?
The most recent update was that when the 4K came out, which does show quite a bit more detail, because honestly, the Blu-ray of Scream was never even that good of an HD, like, print that they used or transfer. Okay. But the 4K is really good. So we were able to make out there's some sort of logo or marking on the bottom of the boots. It's like an orangish, reddish rectangle. Of course, you can't really make out what it is or what it says. But that's basically what we're going off of now, is trying to find any brand of boot that is from that time period that has that or something similar to that on the bottom of it. Because the key is, when you're trying to find something like this, you just have to identify. You don't have to find the exact boots. You just have to identify the brand, and then you can go from there. So once you know the brand, but right now we don't even know the brand. So you're literally just, it's a black boot. There's 10,000, 100,000 different types and pairs and styles out there. So it's really difficult without knowing the brand. So that's really where we're at right now, is trying to find the brand.
Okay. Bloody hell. You see, Niagara Falls again, I tell you. Niagara Falls. You give reasonable explanation as well, Mr. Nate. So yeah, it's sort of like that when somebody says, oh, is my Fantastic Faces 93 or 94? We have no idea. It's not that easy to tell. But yeah, what mould come first? Like, well, I don't know, whatever they used first, because we wasn't there. But yeah, sometimes you really wish these 4Ks and Blu-rays would just confirm things sometimes. But yeah, aside from that though, Nate does know a hell of a lot with regards to many of the films and the contacts he's made over the years. But what's this? Mr. Jigsaw JP, aka Jordan, says, Nate, do you have a favourite mask? I'll just see what this comment below is. For both of you, did either of you notice Amber's robe was a bit tapered at the waist, and the hood being wider and the shoulders after she kills Dewey? The robe just looked totally different at the shoulders. I didn't notice that, but yeah, and Nick says Nate and I have literally dedicated hours at looking at old boots. Yeah, but to Mr. Jordan's question, what's I don't know whether he means mask overall or mask of your collection, Nate, but what's your favourite mask, he says?
Overall, I really like the type that was used in Scream 3. I think it was I think as like the movies kind of went on and as the masks start to go on, they get more like symmetrical,
Yeah.
like perfect symmetrical, which actually Wes had an issue with. That's why they used the reshoot mask when they found that, because he loved how kind of uneven it was, and he felt that the regular masks that were sent were just too perfect. None of them had that like unique shape that like the Fantastic Faces did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mask in general, I would say aside from the original, obviously Fantastic Faces, my favorite would be what they used in Scream 3.
Mm-hmm. Like EU stamps, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people say, oh, ASIS EU or black and red tag EU. Basically, there was just all the same mold, just with different paint jobs around the eyes and sometimes the thickness of the material. But yeah, basically, EU stamps after Fantastics. Oh, Douglas. Where the hell you been, Douglas? I've been trying to contact you. Hello, Douglas. I'm on with one of your very good friends. He's a Clarion man. Have you heard of him? Nate Reagan. He's going to kill me after this stream. Look, I told you. Just now joined the stream. How's it going, Tim and Nate? We're going okay, Mr. Douglas. Going okay. You've had a hell of a good chat. I've kept Nate quite a while here. I see that brand... What's this? I see that the brand is the current research is centered around this new find. Okay. I could listen to this knowledge all day. Yeah, so could I. So could I. I think we're okay on the chat. Yeah, we're about done on the chatteroo there. Yeah. Well, for future reference, people on the stream, I shall let Nate continue with life. I'll see if I can sort you out some cereal, Mr. Nate. Thank you very much, as always, for returning to the stream. I hope you do so again in the future. It's always nice to have you back. Always nice to have the exceptional, massive amount of bloody knowledge you have in that brain box there. Jesus Christ. It's, for a Clarion man.
For a Clarion man, it's pretty impressive, right?
For a Clarion man, but just look at the background of Nate. Look at this. If he was living in my neighbourhood, I'd end up being done for harassment. I'd be there bloody playing his Mortal Kombat all the time or looking at his collection. Yeah. But there you go.
I recognize that.
Look at that. Screen 3. Yeah. It's a beauty. I wonder what did happen to the head, Some crew member somewhere, no one knows what this is, but I do. This is a head. Yeah.
If you're watching this, crew member, and you have that head, we should talk. I'd like to.
Did you ever get that battery off Mr. Clive Barzilia Burtbench for the cell phone? He said he had a battery, didn't he?
No, yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I said to Clive, you sent that battery to Nate yet? I said, oh, I don't think I've heard of it. I was like, yeah, send in the battery. I want to see those numbers stored in the memory.
No, I'm dying to get that thing turned back on so I can do a video and show it.
Yeah, by all means. I'll give him a nudge on that, see if we can get in touch with you. And if so, we can always try and ship some cereal and a battery and whatever else across to you, Nate. But let's have a look here. Grab me some cereal too, says Douglas. I'll see what I can do. Thank you, Nate, says Melinda. Things have been crazy as always, but no complaints on my end, says Douglas. I wish a cereal company was shipped to USA. Amazing. Yeah, Nate is amazing, though. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the cereal. I'm not sure if there's any more stock. I will be looking into it. But as I say, though, Nate, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
As he says himself, Mr. Ghostface, it's an honour. It is an honour. I wish I could do the voice. I wish I could do it. I could do it when I got a cold. That's close. But no, thank you, Mr. Nate. I'm sorry that we've rambled on a bit, but trust me, mate.
No, this is fun. I love doing it.
We've had good viewers, we've had good chat, and that's the main thing, and everyone knows it's spoiler contained, so it's even better. So thank you yet again to Nate Reagan, not the Clarion man. And I'll see what I can sort out for you with regards to cereal. But I'll be in touch soon. And have a good day. And stay safe, because there's only one Nate Reagan.
Will do. Thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody. This was fun.
See you soon, Nate.
Bye.
There we go. There we go. Hi. Well, as Ghostface says, honestly, it's an honour with that chap. It's an honour. Jesus Christ, man. If I could have his knowledge and his collection, and just know what he knows sometimes. Jesus, man. You got to give respect to this chap, because in the past it is known among screen use masks that many modifications were made to these masks to give them certain looks. And over time, Nate has had many of these masks in his collection, and he's always kept the secret secret, and I always give him full respect for that. The fact he even graces these streams as a British dickhead here, honestly, it is an honour to get him on. I've had him on the stream before. I want him on the stream again, even after now. But yeah, again, Niagara Falls, not just a fountain of knowledge, Niagara Falls a bloody knowledge there. And yeah, just to be able to have contact with that chap. I look at the right camera now. Just to have contact with him, it's bloody, it's like a secret crew member or something, And even though he's not part of the crew, he bloody should have been. But he deserved his name in the credits. And I'm glad he ended up with the mask that he got. So many people have asked recently, though, so with regards to the mask, I want to do a Scream 5 movie mask guide. I want to know what masks we use in Scream 5. So just remember that for the most part, the killer masks, as we see from Scream 3 onwards, were mainly based, and I say based, off EU stamp moulds. So although yes, there were different mixers and qualities and hoods and shrouds, the main base point of all the movie masks from Scream 3 onwards was EU stamps. So yes, different types, deluxe, dwarf style hoods, etc. Resurrection being resurrection masks. Again, EU stamp, just different qualities and even different mixes of materials actually used. So a lot of people have asked that question recently. So just to confirm, ultra whites were sent to set, as far as we know, on the film we've been shown on the edit. There's no ultra whites that seem to appear unless we're missing something. Metallics were sent to the set. No metallics were sent. Zombies, scarecrows were sent to set. Nothing was seen of them. So even scarecrow masks were still lurking at Funworld. Even zombies sent to set. Didn't make it into the film as far as we know. The main masks that were sent and used, we believe, obviously, as Nate was helping to confirm. And I'm sure even if Maggie looks at her mask close, I wonder if there's any nicks or things done to it, in the use of it, or even if it was used. I believe it possibly was. But I forget what I was bloody saying now. The EU stamps have always been the main ones, but as we go into the scenes of the film, it definitely seems, because everyone always speculated wrong. Just over a year ago, when we got RJ on the stream and he was talking via phone, it was mistaken and taken the wrong way by people that were viewing the stream, that he's just said the ultramite's not used as a killer mask, so what is it? Everyone got the wrong idea, but basically the main message was it was the EU stamp mask with what RJ calls a bone effect, which is basically a dual white finish, which many of the EU stamps have got, that was used as a main killer mask. But as we get into the film and you watch the final film of Scream 2022, eagle-eyed people and fans hopefully would have noticed that there was only a couple of masks used. So throughout the film, whether it was Resurrection, whether it was Deluxe 25th Anniversary, whether it was these very low amount of particular masks made on the EU stamp that RJ mentioned to me, the main killer mask was the EU stamped mask as the base, shall we say. Whether there was hoods modified or changed, I don't fully know. But the other mask type used was just simply the white plastic mask, which do still come in costumes these days as a bib style, but I believe there are probably full shroud masks used in the film. So plastic masks were used basically in the stab scenes of the reenactment of Stu's towards the end. Obviously she's watching the thing and then turns around, and obviously the stab Randy and the stab killer, that is a plastic mask. At the end credits, as he wipes his knife and screen comes up, that is a plastic mask. obviously the silver chrome mask, or whether it was a, I don't know whether it was a silver chrome from 2016 or whether it was a recent chrome edition that obviously appeared in costumes last year as well. But at the end of the day, some sort of silver chrome mask was used, obviously with the flamethrower for the Stab 8. So aside from that, there's not a lot of overall types used. So EU stamps differentiating here and there, 25th anniversary of Resurrection, you know, low amount of mass made for the production. Plastic mass with full shroud and silver chrome mass are your main mass used for the Scream 2022 film. So many people have been asking, and obviously people still ask about the robe and the material, which if you watch Nate's videos, Nate did get a little small swatch of the material that they use for the robe, and it does have sparkles in. Because a lot of people said, oh yeah, it doesn't sparkle, but it does sparkle. They always thought the killer robe with the picture of Kevin and the knife, you know, that appeared online everywhere. They always thought, oh no, it's not a sparkly costume, but it did have sparkle on it. Let me check the chat. So, did you? But yeah, thank you, Mr. Hopkins here. Nate, were you on set at all? Oh, sorry, just missed that one. Nate was not on set as far as I know. But no, it wasn't already a question before, so don't worry about that. Let me just make sure I've not missed anything. Let's have a look. Been lurking this whole time. What a great stream, very knowledgeable. Thank you, Woozy. I'll just say Woozy. See for the streams. I've got to check 2 different screens here because my streaming software won't let me scroll up in the chat. Got a couple of other little things to show you before we go. Oh, hang on a minute. There you go. Let's have a look. Getting together at a good con would be amazing. Been lurking the whole time. Great stream. Sorry, I just read that. I love the fact that you have not 1 but 2 Scary Movie Ghostface masks. They are not off the set of Scary Movie. They are a private person. How can I put it? An anonymous person made them, and I managed to get 2 of them. There's 2 different types. Yes. Based off 2 different scenes from Scary Movie, so they are not screen used in any way. They're not via Fun World in any way, unfortunately. They are fan creations, but they're good fan creations, and fan wishes to remain anonymous, and I believe not many have been made since. But yeah, they are nice. Drown Boy will have a Screen 5 mask guide soon, I believe. Yes, I know, because Drown Boy contacted me looking for a plastic mask, which I may have. An ultralight actually did make it in the film in the Dead Meat YouTube. Oh, it was on the background, wasn't it? Of course it was. It was in the background. Yes, my mistake. I'm glad you're awake. Ghostface 1301. Yes, that is very correct. Matt Bettinelli Olpin, one of the directors, he said on a recent interview I saw that basically that whole sort of YouTube page where you see Kirby still alive and this, that, and the other, and you know the clip as they play it. Yes, there was a mask in the background. You are exactly right. Would you be... what's that? Would you be interested if the movies going forward decide to give Ghostface different costumes, like Scarecrow, Zombie, or would it be too... I probably think it'd be, as you say, probably a bit too gimmicky. I think this is part of the reason they didn't do that in Scream 4 when Wes was still with us. They had Scarecrows, Zombies, they had all sorts again sent to set, as well as the masks made for production. And I think Wes thought, no, just keep Ghostface as Ghostface is normally seen. And obviously they didn't pursue a zombie or a Scarecrow Ghostface at that time, or any other type for that matter. But Wes did like the reshoot masks, as Nate said, because they weren't as symmetrical, and you know, sometimes it's nice to have an untidy, unsymmetrical Ghostface. Look at Fantastics, for God's sake, you know. Symmetricals can be nice, but yeah, the untidy one's quite nice as well when you look at them. Also, is there any reason as to why Funworld no longer sells latex rubber vanilla masks and has gone for full plastic? It was my understanding quite a while ago now that it may have had something to do with costs of what the EU stamp masks used to cost to produce. I'm not sure if that's the full facts or information, and I do believe though that ultra whites are cheaper to produce, so maybe, I say maybe, that's the reasoning, I don't know. But look at it this way, even though the UK still haven't got their 2021 stock, which includes EU stamp anniversary masks, it did show that they could go back and make them again, and also add a cent again. So I've emphasised to RJ many times, please keep that EU stamp coming back. Whether it does or not, I don't know. I really hope it does, because fans won't be happy just seeing it back for that 1 year and then seeing it disappear again. So it was made from late 90s up till 2017, then stopped, and then returned in 2021. And we missed it in them 4 years. Definitely. Let's have a look. I forgot to ask if the gloves are sewn on this time. I don't know. I think there was a hole in the Rishner where they could take the hand out. I'm sure there's rumour somewhere online that there was a hole somewhere in the wrist where they could just pull the hand out of the glove and just, you know, if there's going to use the phone or just for, I don't know, access purposes. I'm sure there's something online about that. Again, I don't know the full story on that. I'm not one for the film information stuff. I'm more mask information and previous types, and even then I don't know everything. Screamer's costume has a new winter Ghostface beanie. It has the patch that's on the new Liberty snapback hat. Tie-dye beanie, oh nice. All I need is the plastic to complete my video. I've got to have a look in the attic or the loft, Douglas. I've got to see what I've got, because I don't think I've got many. I have the bib style hard, but can't seem to find the 2017 full shroud. Now, you won't find hard plastic masks with full shrouds easily. It's amazing, because I used to have 32 of them and didn't think they'd ever sell to anyone, and then all of a sudden in recent years people have been asking for them. Clive's had quite a few for like the crow masks, etc., that were done, and the tester masks. I think the crow behind me is the devil on the front, but yeah, all behind that devil in the back there's all the crow masks that Clive had done. So there were 2 golds, 2 greens, 2 blues, 2 something else. I think there was 2 devils, that was it, and then 1 red metallic chrome finish was done. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, I've got to look to see if we can find some more of this cereal. But I was just going to bring you on here for a minute. There we go. So just a quick visit. It is that camera, isn't it? Yeah, it's that camera. Make sure I'm looking at the right camera this time. So just a quick visit on the latest editions. So this is obviously Funworld's website. This is the new for 2022 page, which is linked right up here. Yes, you can. I'm just checking you can see it on the stream. So new for 2022, then sort by position rather than sort by product name. So select position, scroll down a little bit, and more has been added this week with regards to Ghostface items coming, which will be available at Halloween 2022. So here you go. This is a new 60-inch Ghostface Scarecrow. Now to hear Ghostface Scarecrow, you probably think, oh, Scarecrow's coming back. No. Scarecrows don't seem to be coming back, but this is what they have given us. So this is basically a decoration of a Ghostface Scarecrow in a different form. So there you go, nice mould on the mask, if we can get in position. This reminds me of a mask mould they used on the inflatable figure years ago. It possibly may not be, but definitely has a similar look, with a bit of a different paint job, I think. But at the end of the hands or the arms there, obviously just little streamers. And the hood actually, the shroud's all torn. I mean, you go on the Funworld website, have a look for yourself. The images are high quality. Pumpkins in the background, but he sort of fits the bill there, doesn't he, Mr. Hanging decoration, or decoration I should say, Ghostface Scarecrow there. But comes in a pack of 4 if you're a retailer. Posable arms, false straw accents, includes a stake. So basically what you see is what you get. But yeah, posable arms, classic Ghostface character, 5 feet tall. Another addition this week was based more on Dead by Daylight. If you play the game, you know these types and you know these cosmetics in the game. you have basically what looks to be an alternate mould devil face on this one. This is not the standard plastic mask mould, I believe, that we've seen devil face exist on in the past from 2017. Also, the Viper looks to be an alternate mould as well. He looks a bit thinner in the face on this one, like he's been ill, lost some weight. You won't get these descriptions on any other stream. But also we have the Scorched, which I still haven't got any bloody Scorched. I still haven't got any Viper. I still haven't got any Devils from this year. Or should I say last year now, because it's 2022. But here we go. When we zoom in a little, you can easily see that the mouth is different, that the nose is a little different. And basically this is an alternate mould. Maybe it's just for this decoration. Probably it's just a different size. But this is an alternate devil. And dare I say, on this one, the horns look a little too big. So I wonder if they've got a smaller mass because of it's a decoration. So it's a new mould. And again, assumption. And basically they've just used, it looks to be standard devil horns on an alternate mould devil mask for this particular one. There's Mr. Viper. He does look different. I don't know if it's the eyes being thinner or just the mask mould being very different. But again, they're just going to be called grave breakers. Products like this did exist in the past called ground breakers, which were Ghostface related to. But there you go, Mr. Scorch, looking as ketchup and mustard as people have sometimes described, but again, looking okay compared to the cosmetic in the game. This is how he looks in Dead by Daylight. So yes, Dead by Daylight are not finished with just costumes. Now they're going into the decoration side with the grave breakers. So these will be a pack of 6. I'm guessing obviously 2 of each to the retailers. So it just says 3 styles, assorted obviously. Posable arms, prop weapon included, devil face, a scorched ghost face, and the viper face. Bit of copyright there for Dead by Daylight, which is expected, but brand new item. This one has become an instant favourite for some people for whatever reason. I don't hate it, I think it's quite nice. Obviously you need a power cord on this, so it self-inflates, AC power cord included. It's 6 feet tall, and basically it's Ghostface popping out of a pumpkin. There we go. Standard sort of vector on the image of Ghostface there. And creepy-ish pumpkin, I suppose, but it lights up from the bottom, it looks. And I'm guessing hopefully it won't get blown over. I don't know. I'd love to know whether that's actually got some sort of ground mount or something, or a stake or whatever, just something to put it into the ground with, keep it stable, keep it upright. But there you go. The knife is a bit of a strange one on this. It's almost just like a bloody end of a spear. But again, it's an inflatable, isn't it? So take note though, Ghostface lives. The branding is back again. Ghostface lives appearing on many things now. One of the questions coming up in the RJ interview, what is this Ghostface lives branding about? What can you tell us? And he will be answering. So lastly, this will be end of the stream soon, don't worry, you can all breathe again. So Ghostface light up lantern. Again, Ghostface lives on the branding. So you've got an image of it not illuminated and an image of it which I think is just possibly photoshopped to make it look illuminated. But a light up LED lantern. It says try me, so I'm guessing there's something on the packaging when you buy it. 2 AAA batteries. There you go, comes in a pack of 6 for the retailers. I've seen many people see this and go, oh, I want one of them. So the inflatable and the lantern seems to be doing well already. It's not even out there yet. I'm guessing from the look of this, whether this is a plastic or even like the tombstone in the back of the stream here, this seems to have the same sort of finishing effect as the polystyrene tombstone I've got. So whether this is a polystyrene frame with a little Ghostface stuck in the middle with a battery, who knows. Whether it's plastic, we'll have to see. But again, all these items, there you go, there's your little tag on the side, look. So that's how it's going to come, I guess. Oh, still, there you go. It's amazing that it says on this tag on the image, you can possibly see it on the stream, requires 2 AAA batteries sold separately. Yeah, it says on the overall description, batteries included. We'll see, won't we? Yeah, to me though, it looks, it has got the same polystyrene tombstone effect like in the background of the stream here. You'll see on the full view in a minute. But yeah, who knows? It doesn't really say anything detail-wise, but yeah, pack of 6, batteries, barcode, LED lantern. As long as it's Ghostface, what's it matter? After that, it is masks that we've seen already previous on the stream. So we've seen the Hairy Screamer mask, which is Clyde Barzilia's original mask. He's obviously been in contact with Funworld. There's his original Screamer mask, so Mr. Barzilia again. Clive also did a K&B version of what he called a Scrumpkin. Again, he had a chat with Funworld, so this is nice design. And there we go, Pumpkin mask is coming. We've got the Pride Ghostface mask coming. All mentioned on stream before, which is why I'm going briefly through them. The Slayer kits, as mentioned before, this would be perfect if it was an EU stamp mask with a standard shroud and a smell, but you know, looks like maybe it's going to be an Ultra. You get your voice changer, you get your chrome knife, and you actually get the pair of gloves as well. So good to see that knife back though, because I know that went down well with fans last year. Ultra white is just an Ultra, you know. It could be worse, it could be worse. But voice changer, which again we've not even seen in this country as of 2021 stock. We've still not got the stock, so we've not seen the voice changer, although it's just a painted up version of the ones released before. But one thing that came that people have hardly ever mentioned for whatever reason, I don't know, why does this not interest people? Alright, it's not Ghostface, Ghostface, Ghostface is in, you know, a new mask style, but it's still part of the Ghostface line, and here we are. Nice lady in a Ghostface poncho. Ghostface ponchos were done years ago. You had also the, I forget the name of the mask now, the Lorgnet mask, which was a small polystyrene mask on a stick, which they just place over the face. Obviously then move away again when those ladies are trying to be mysterious. You know what I mean. A bit like Phantom of the Opera, it makes me think of. But yeah, here we go. Call me. Ghostface print on the front. Look, again, Ghostface lives on the branding, you see. Getting this Ghostface lives in everywhere possible now. Ghostface as merchandise and stuff coming up in the future is becoming more and more and more. Loads of new stuff on the way. I believe that is it for the most part. I'm probably going to come across the knife, which this was in stores last year, in the USA at least. I don't know if the UK ever saw anything like this. I don't believe they did. I don't know if any other countries did either. And I think lastly, the scary movies. So this has created a little bit of confusion among fans. I will check the chat in a minute. I know this stuff being said. But yeah, this is creating confusion among fans, whether the molds have been completely reworked, whether they've been, I don't know, whether they're having new tags, whether there's smell being added again. These things have not had smell on them for quite a few years. There was rumour that the vanilla smell was banned in factories for certain reasons. Then last year they have to, you know, come up with a different way of doing the smell in the 25th anniversary mask. But yes, I do know that they was looking at the scary movie masks again. And it's just weird that they've appeared in this new for 2022 section, because in the UK at least these masks have been available every single year. So why all of a sudden are they looking at them again? Because it's not like it's a special anniversary coming up for the Scary Movie films. I mean, it's 22 years ago now since Scary Movie came. I don't know. Let's have a look at the chat. They pop up on eBay time and time again, but really, yes, the plastics. The hard plastic version used in the film had a different style shroud than the typical one, which is expected. That comes with the mask. Better off getting the bib version and reshrouding it with a custom. Yes, again, you know, bib versions, get yourself a cheap costume, which they are still cheap, and put a shroud on. Obviously, yeah, I'm not experienced in sewing, I can't do shrouds, but surely someone somewhere could charge you a few dollars or pounds or whatever, get yourself a decent plastic mask with a different shroud. I mean, some people get ultra whites and have the shrouds taken off and put them on the plastics, don't they? Just bear in mind that the plastics are solid plastic and it's not as easy to get a needle through when sewing. As long as you remember that, you should be fine. And whoever else you get to sew a shroud on, let them know that as well, in case they've got special needles or machines or whatever else it bloody is. I have no room to put that, but I'll find and make room. Do you know if there is a way to bring back the vanilla smell of the mask that has lost the scent? Not really, I don't think, no. I have an EU mask that I've used for years, unless it's classics. Yeah, it's sadly it's just time is time and age is age and everything bloody wears out. As far as I know, the scent was some sort of chemical mixed in with the mask actual material itself. That's as far as I know. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what I've always been told. So sadly, yeah, some of them, it's rare to find a fantastic faces now just as a mask, whether it's on or off a header tag, but to find one with a smell is bloody amazing. Whereas if you come across an ASIS mask, the purpley pinky sort of, you know, ASIS tags, more than likely the mask's still going to reek of vanilla. So it just makes you wish that the reeking of vanilla masks, you know, the same amount of chemical or whatever they put into them was used on all the masks. But it varies mask to mask, doesn't it? Some really stink of it and some lose it over time. I've got HHNs down here, used to stink of it, and now you can hardly tell it's there. Sadly, it's just how it goes. Don't think you can bring back the smell. You can place a vanilla air freshener in for one day or two. Yeah, it's finding the vanilla that matches though, because there's many vanilla scents out there that are nothing like the Ghostface ones. It depends. It depends. Very curious on the prices of these new items. Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing the lanterns probably be about $15-20 US. Maybe I don't know, between £10-15 UK money. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Because the inflatable is one screen-related decoration that people can't steal off your yard. I have that knife. I'm guessing the chrome. Speaking of the voice changes, does anyone know of any software or actual voice changer that helps replicate Roger's voice? I know some Vader cosplayers have figured it out. Same for Kylo. I don't know. I don't know. To me, the only voice that is Ghostface is obviously Roger. I keep hearing about this app, was it on TikTok, that apparently is very good, but I've never used it myself. I personally don't have a TikTok. But aside from that, yeah, I think if software and voice changes start getting clever like that, or like we saw in Scream 3, we're going to end up having trouble. Can you imagine somebody recording your voice and getting whatever sample they need, and then, you know, phoning up your missus having a go to her or something? What did you just say? I said, fuck yourself. Oh, what? I don't know. The mind boggles. The mind boggles. But no, I mean, end of the day, the voice changes that have existed from Funworld in the past have been very different, because it's hard to do, isn't it? Alright, so a Vader one may exist, and, you know, how close is that? But to me, personally, I'd rather just add a voice changer that sounded similar and just be happy with that. But, yeah, I wonder what Roger thinks of all this sometimes, you know. How many answer phone messages has he done for people? How many recordings has he done? Or even cameos as he does, you know, where he's doing all these different, I don't know, intimidating sentences, etc. Must be a hell of a life that chap lives, honestly. What's this again? Does anybody know what exact vanilla smell is used in the mask, or is that a secret kept by Funworld? That's a good question, you know. I think I asked RJ ages ago. I said, RJ, you know, how the hell, you know, what's that vanilla? Where's it come from? How's it in the mask? You know, I can't tell you that. I was like, okay then. He couldn't tell me. I think not because he didn't know, but because it was just a secret. So I'm thinking it's more, yeah, as you say, a secret kept by Funworld. I don't know. Shame we can't replicate it in some ways, because yeah, there's masks up here definitely that I'd love to get them smelling as they're meant to smell, but again, it's not something you can just press a button and do. The butcher knife that they're advertising is new. That's the one I have. Yeah, it's not new, is it? It's been out a little while, and it's been in different forms as well. It's not always had that weathering on it. So, how late am I, Mr. Ghostface? Chris Goodwin, you're very late. We've been streaming 2 hours 43, so there you go, that's how late you are. You'll never need a voice changer, your impression is on. Yeah, bollocks. I can only ever get a tiny bit close to Roger's tone, but that's when I've got a cough or a cold or a blocked up nose. I can, only ever get slightly close, but when I start trying to do long sentences, it just goes more my voice rather than the tone I'm trying to achieve, so I can't do it. There was a chap years ago, I think he called himself UK's Ghostface. Didn't have a website, didn't have a YouTube, not immediately anyway. And he was just really close, and I believe he even did the Ghostface voice for a couple of Stab fan films in the past, and he actually sounded really close. And he used to start to do videos of just a video of him talking to a microphone, and you'd see it was him doing it, and there was a chap called Lee Bloomfield, so BLOOMFIELD, Lee Bloomfield, UK chap. I believe he's still here. Every now and again he pops up on chat. I do, mate, where you been? I haven't seen you in ages. Like, I haven't seen you in ages. Where you been for the last 5, 6, 7 years? But yeah, Lee Bloomfield. Maybe look him up on YouTube. He might be there somewhere. But he used to get so close to the voice. You know, like scream for not an app. And as he used to say, not an app. And like, God, it was almost like Roger were doing it. But he was way better than anything I could ever try to get close to. Way better. What's this? Message on Twitter. Okay, let me just have a quick look, just in case I can point people to the direction of it. Is he on here? No, he's probably changed his username over the years. But no, there was... No, I can't find him on YouTube, typing in what I've just typed. But no, there was a chap. He's probably took himself off YouTube, I'm not sure. It's been a while since he's been online. But yeah, there was a UK fan just called Lee Bloomfield. And he was like UK's Ghostface or UK Ghostface. And there was just recordings of him in front of his mic saying all these quotes from Scream 4 at the time, so 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And he was wasn't perfect, but he wasn't far off it either. And it was so nice to see at the time, because you're like, Jesus, somebody's actually close to Roger here, you know. Want to hear your Roger impression, editors? I need a cough or a cold or a sore throat to get close to Roger. As I say, I'm very limited in what I can say in that tone as well. If I try and do long sentences, it just goes off. It's like, nah, it's not the same. But Roger's always Ghostface to me. Roger's always Ghostface. He always will be, as long as he's here. Look for you at the weekend, but no sign. No, I was working at the weekend, Squire. I was working at the weekend. Not my choice, not my preference, but 4 on 4 off falls how it falls, and that's just how it was. But yeah, it was planned to come on Tuesday night, as in now, and talk about the film and get Nate on. I was hoping to get Maggie on, but she's not too good at the minute. She's a bit ill. But we'll get Nate and Maggie hopefully again in the future together. So I always want to get Nate and Maggie together and get me and just get us chatting about the films on a stream one day. And I wanted to hear Maggie's opinion on the latest film. But yeah, the film overall I did like. Although I almost got up and walked out halfway through. It just pissed me off so much that Dewey had to go. It really wound me up. I literally watched that scene in disbelief, like, what the fuck are you doing? I was really angry about it. It just wound me up. I was like, I really don't want to sit here and watch the fucking rest of this. But I thought, I've got to sit here and watch the rest of it. Because I want to know what happens, you know. Who's the killers? What's the motive? What the fuck's going on, you know? The thing that got me was this is a film by directors that know what they're doing and writers that know what they're doing, and Kevin's obviously involvement was nice because Kevin was the birth of Scream along with Wes and Ghostface, you know, the cast and the crew. They made it what it was. But originally obviously Kevin's idea, and Wes obviously kept turning it down at first, didn't he? But you know, we got what we ended up with, which was Scream. And to say that these were directors that were fans, that were making a film for the fans, I honestly had it in my deep belief that the fans, making it for fans, would possibly leave the trio alone and not kill any of them. As Nate said earlier, as many people expected, maybe one's got to go. But yeah, it just really annoyed me that any of them had to go. And the fact that Dewey bloody went, especially after getting his original music back from Scream 2. I was so happy when I heard that music. I was like, yeah, it's back. He's got his theme back again. He's got the proper theme. Not that Scream 4 one that was a little bit similar, but he got his Scream 2 theme back, you know, his Broken Arrow Hans Zimmer theme, which of course was from the Broken Arrow film. But I was so happy when he showed up and that music came on. I was like, yeah, he's back, and he's back properly. He's going to kick ass. And then, yeah, of all the things to distract him, it was a bloody phone. And it was Gail ringing, and then it showed the picture of the phone with, you know, him and Gail in the past. And I was like, Jesus, what a fucking gut-wrenching way to fucking end him. The way he died, and the fact that that picture was showing on the phone, and, you know, why she was phoning, and then when she clocks the body bag, she's, oh no. She knows as well, you know, and the next thing you know, Sid appears, and, you know, the two women have got to go kick some ass. But it infuriated me at the time, it really did. I think at one time I didn't even look at the screen. If anyone had been looking back at me at the cinema with this ghost face without the mask on and just head looking down, they'd been like, shit, that's pissed him off. Because it did. It did. I think overall, I highly doubt that any of the cast or crew or directors, writers will ever look at this stream and see me ranting here, but I think for what they had and how they tried to reboot the franchise and basically Scream 5 or Scream whatever it ends up being, I think they did do a good job. But the Dewey will always stay with me and many other fans as almost like when Randy went, you know, it just pissed you off. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, Randy won Indestructible, Randy was taken out in broad daylight, for God's sake, you know. I was like, Jesus, like Nate said earlier, you know, Jesus, they're really doing this? They're going to kill everyone, you know. You know, Scream 2, you know, then Dewey gets it, you think Dewey's dead in Scream 2. And thankfully he wasn't. And I'm glad that Wes gave the option at the end of Scream 1, you know, with the audience reaction, says, yeah, they liked you, so you're going to live, you know. It was nice to know that option was there, and I just wish that option was there more predominantly with this latest film, because that so-called scene that they filmed wasn't even classed as a shot, as I think Tyler said. I was like, use it, put it in, you know, use it. Oh. But sadly, no more Dewey. Again, spoiler. But yeah, it's yeah, it really pissed me off. That really pissed me off. And I was hoping to get Matt, at least Matt, on this stream one day, and possibly Tyler. I'm not sure if Chad will come on. They've done things with other fans. Hopefully they will. Time will tell on that one, but we'll see. I'll just catch up with the chat and I'll let you get gone. We've been 2 hours 51. I don't want to be topping 3 hours again. No problem as long as you're okay. Yeah, we're all good, Mr. Mike. We're all good. You referring to me? This is Alfreda's Zane chat. The chap in the chat, Mike Alligators, this is in relation to this. So you're thinking, what's he saying? It's in relation to that. And Mike will understand it, that's the point. I thought the motive for killers was extremely weak. I felt exactly the same as you, although I didn't want to walk out when Dewey was killed. I was upset. Yeah, I was upset. I just wanted to go, but then I thought, well, if I do go, I'm not going to have a clue what happens. So I just sat and stayed. The sound of him dying is one of the most horrific things I've heard. So yeah, it's okay. Mike and Retro getting confused. Don't worry about it, chaps. He's referring to me. He follows on location videos that I've made in the past for Alfreda's Zane Pet. So this on My Hat is an 80s TV show. It started as an 80s TV show in 1983, 1985. Then they rebooted it in 2001 and 2 and 2004. There's another 3 different series made in those years. But yeah, Mike Alligators is in referral to Alfreda's Zane. But yeah, I followed him in other, yeah, but that would be amazing. Yeah, but yeah, the one thing I wish that was a little different, as I said to Nate earlier, just to finish a stream, I really wish that for once in a Scream movie we'd have seen something a little bit more different with regards to the killers. In what I said to Nate is maybe Dewey did go up that corridor and he did get 2 shots off in the head just to make sure, And somebody said to me, I won't say the name, but because it's a very well-known someone, but somebody said, "Oh, how was the killer shot and then just got back up again?" I says, "Didn't you see?" He says, "Well, what?" I says, "In the shot of Dewey's looking at the killer, as Dewey's getting taken out, he looks at the killer, and you see sort of through the robe in the middle, and you see white underneath with the studs where the bullets have hit. So he had a bulletproof vest like Roman did in Scream 3. Did anyone else notice that? So that's why the killer was shot and then could easily get back up once they'd sort of, come out of the daze after the shells hit them on the head. So there was a bulletproof vest in use there, and obviously that's why they're straight back up ready to give him some more hell. And then, yeah, of course, the phone distracts him and it all goes to shit. But, yeah, my thing personally, if I was, for whatever reason, lucky enough to be on crew or the writers or just some sort of involvement, which I'll never be, but if someone said, "Oh yeah, let's do 3 killers, let's have him kill that one in the corridor," and then it fucks them up a bit, it messes up their plan, doesn't it? What are they going to do about it? Do they get more brutal? Do they do something, fuck them up a bit? Don't make it always go to the killer's plans, jolt it, mix it up a bit, twist it up like they like to, couldn't there have been 3 killers this time? And Dewey fucks one up, and Dewey lives, but again, we got what we got. It was okay. The motive, as said in the chat, the motives are like, God, are we on about fan films again? We're really on about fan films? Other stab films are gone, I didn't mean fan films, stab films. But, you know what, I've seen it twice. I'd happily go back and watch it again. The Dewey scene's always going to piss me off. Always. But, yeah. I don't know. There was one thing I forgot to mention to Nate earlier. I think there was a brief mention of it, but I never went into it. Scream 4, yeah? Scream 4, the ending. The hospital. We know what happens in the hospital. In the hospital in Scream 4, there's a couple of scenes in the hospitals. Yeah? Before Sydney's publicist gets taken out, Alice and Mac, I forget the bloody character's name now. Yeah, we see him in the hospital. And obviously, more towards the end, where Emma Roberts, etc., is taken out. Jill, see, I'm even forgetting now. Where the hell? Is it just me? Am I being too nitpicky? Scream 4, just as one example. Where the hell are the fucking staff? Where's the staff? Hospitals generally are busy places, whether it's moderately busy, whether it's busy. There's normally a lot of activity in hospitals of some sort. Where is the staff passing by screaming in shock or calling for the police after they've witnessed something? Where was the staff in Scream 4 in the ending, yeah? Scream 5. Majority of the bloody film, we see quite a bit of the hospital. Where's the staff? Is it just me? Where is the MF staff? Where are the staff? Where's the doctors, the nurses, the triage people, the surgeon? Where is everyone? Ghostface gets a whole corridor, whole floor to himself while Tara's there, bloody trying to wheel herself down a corridor. He's playing with her, fucking with her, She manages to come out of it because of Dewey, Sam. Showing up with bloody Richie. But, where the hell are the staff? You see that one copper on the floor, bloody throat slit, And what was with that big tall copper that was guarding Terror? The Chinese looking chap. He may be Chinese, Japanese, I don't know what he was. I don't mean any offence to the actor. But the big tall Chinese-ish copper. Yeah. He, after the break room and Sam seeing Billy in the mirror, he then disappears, doesn't he? Because Judy's been killed, you know. And she says, "Who's guarding my sister? Who's guarding my sister?" Well, the sheriff. And you can sort of see, well, yeah, he wants to see the sheriff for last time. He can't believe she's dead. But, you know, would he really have left no one to guard Terror after what's happened to her and the condition she's in? The fact she's even survived is a bloody miracle. But, you know, would he really have left her side? Should he have left her side, you know? But seriously, Scream 4, alright, it's 10 years ago, 11 years ago almost now. But Scream 5, where the hell are the hospital staff? There's always somebody somewhere. Whether they're walking by, whether they've bloody even tripped up and had a fall on the corridor. It's like something out of Airplane, isn't it? Or Scary Movie. Person trips over in the background. But honestly, where were the staff? Where was the goddamn staff? That was one major like Nate's peeve was the basement at Stu's. There was no basement at Stu's. He's been to the real place. He, you know, remember the first film. Stu would have been arse over tit down the stairs backwards. I'll be right back. Yeah, down he would have gone. So, you know, yeah, I agree with Nate with the basement at Stu's. Why? Why wasn't it just the garage, as they say over there, or the garage, as we say in the UK? And yeah, where was the goddamn hospital staff? A doctor or a nurse should have passed by at some point. Whether he got taken out or not, whether he legged it and went into a lift, there should have been someone somewhere. Where was all the staff? Okay, we'll catch up with the chat and we'll get gone. It's 4 seconds from 3 hours. It's too long now. The Nate content's good. It's this content afterwards you gotta get bored of. Yeah, I did forget to. Bloody hell. Did you forget to take your earbuds out after Nate, or do I always wear them? Yeah. I did forget. I'm so used to having them on when I'm playing Dead by Daylight. So they're almost like a second part of me sometimes. Not that I play DVD as much anymore. I still do, just now and again. Although the originals are the best too. Yes, all the episodes. Yeah, I've got all the episodes. Have you got the special? You got the special where they're in the hotel and U2's there, the comic relief special. There you go. But yeah, I know what you mean. The first two series always be the top rank, as Dennis says. Always be top rank. You'll never beat them with anything. But yeah, Gail just had to call. Typical woman. Got Dewey killed. In a way, maybe. I don't know. It's horrible, isn't it, when you think of it like that? But yeah, COVID hit early. Yeah, all the staff got COVID and it was just deserted. But yeah, that's how I felt about 5. Where the hell is the staff? But yeah, 4 was a very similar thing. You saw some staff in 4, even in the background, but 5's like, where is everyone? Well, they deserted that floor for something. Oh yeah, somebody got attacked up there, stay away from her. Okay, then yeah, we'll leave her to get taken out easily when Ghostface next appears. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I said the same thing. Jigsaw, maybe at Boris Johnson's party. Yeah. He won't know because he's American, so he's probably like, Boris Johnson's party? The English Prime Minister's party. He's known for parties when there's regulations in force. He's going against his own rules, a little swine. Anyway. Yeah, where are the staff at? Nobody there at all. I believe Judy mentioned that Tara would receive her own floor, although putting her alone would make her a bigger... yeah, Judy's definitely a distraction kill. Maybe they went for the... jabs. Never too long. Don't say that, Melinda. Although, I must say, yeah, I've sent Melinda a mask in the past. Is that mask okay, Melinda? See, the fans that are appreciative sometimes get stuff sent out, you see. The basement looks so silly, yeah. No, Nate, I'll always respect Mr. Nate though, honestly. He knows so much stuff and he's owned so much stuff over time. Alright, he's sold some things, but you know, Jesus Christ, man, that bloke's collection. It's like walking into an Area 51 warehouse. You're like, look at all this. And this is only from seeing his YouTube videos. Same with RJ's office, you know. Okay. Not many people have been RJ's office, and yeah, the head goes a bit bigger because I got invited there once, but if RJ says, right, okay, you can have my office for 2 hours, have a look around, see what you find in boxes, God, I'll be there. I would say 2 hours, make it 24 hours. Again, just like an Aladdin's cave of all these different items, you know, some which you know, some possibly which you might not know, I don't know. But yeah, when we did a video test call with RJ, he just picked up this mask. I don't know why this is here. And I was like, okay. I says, alright, send it over. If it's cluttering up the office, mate. No. Cheers, Jordan. Honoured to get to know you. Nate's the man. Read Nick Meese's comment from earlier. Nate's the man. Somebody called me an OG the other day. I was like, no. Just remember one thing. I'm fuck all to do with the films. Just a fan like the rest of you. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. We're just fans. Some have websites, some don't. Some have Facebook groups, some don't. Just means you got a bit of online passion, that's all. And talking of online passion, the website is going to get an arse kicking very soon because it's way overdue. But we'll see what happens with it. Just read Dylan Minnette wore prosthetics for his death as Wes. I did hear that, yes, I did hear that. It's practical with VFX per a Fangoria article. So I'll look at Fangoria article and I'll see if there's anything in here as well, the Fangoria magazine. So I look forward to reading that one. Let's have a look. No, not got that one, Tim. Only ever seen that. Yeah, true. I've only ever seen it on YouTube. It's on display right next to me right now. Oh, very nice. As long as it's in its good home. I remember I had to get a replacement for that off Clive, but we sorted it out. It was all good. It's all good. Thought it was a practical effect. Still super thankful for you. That's okay, Melinda. Thank you for that. Hello, Eric and Emily Summers. I'm talking about you. If you need any help with a website, yeah, maybe in the future. With a website, I like to know that I've anything that exists on the website aside from stock images or fan images of mass. I like to know it's my own work, not in a nasty way. So to look at this, so all this background, the gradient at the back here, yeah, all the gradient at the back, all this background image, these particular links, even this mask image, and even these masks on the stream and into the top banner that I tried on there earlier today. I put these masks on the top banner. They're probably going to come off, and I'm going to remake the whole top banner again. But yeah, even these masks on the banner and on the stream as you're watching now, these were originally hand drawn off the Screen 3 poster, where there's just a little mask at the bottom of the poster. You remember that one? This was drawn by a friend of mine, then I photoshopped it and sort of beefed it up a bit. So this is like a joint effort just for this little singular image. But all these links, the rollovers, the logo, how it's put together, and yeah, how the website generally looks at the header here with the slogan and at the bottom with the copyright, just all the images is what I've done in Photoshop. As long as it's got me in the website with regards to the design, which I'm not an expert, but I think it fits the profile for the minute, then I'm good knowing it's basically mainly my, efforts that have got it online at least. But yes, fans can also contribute to the information and the knowledge with their own mass and the pictures and whatever else they can help with. So yeah, the website will be getting a swift kick up the backside though. Particularly the mass page, which is way 3.5 years overdue, maybe even clocking 4 years. So that is still to come. I should be doing a lot of work on the site over the next few months. As I say, more than mass page, also more of the design, maybe even the links. The links haven't been there too long as they exist at this particular time. They're not that old, these particular rollover buttons, if you want to call them that. Obviously stock images are exactly that. They're nothing to do with me. I like to keep the stock images as stock as possible, depending, unless I'm using them into a banner like this top banner here. But I look at this top banner now, I just think it's a bit messy. It is in a way, but in another way it sort of knows that it's up to date and this is 2022 items we're seeing and not something from 2016. So overall though, yeah, I do try, but yeah, there's a lot of work still needs to be done at the minute. So, I miss your Auf Wiedersehen videos. You need to start them again. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, Squire, I've done most of the locations I want to do. Yes, there's more out there, but I do want to finish the Series 1 start credits, because I've started Series 1, of course, with a fishing location. I do want to go Germany and Spain in the future, if that's possible, so I want to get Series 2 and Series 1 locations fully filmed. Not all of it was Germany, of course, not all of it was Dusseldorf, some of it was mostly Hamburg, and then Elstree and Bournemouth Studios, but we'll see, Squire, we'll see. For now, this is Ghostface Stream. It's just regular info, regular updates. Obviously a new film, all the hype's here. Ghostface has got much stuff coming in the future, so this is why I do the Ghostface streams. Keep fans up to date, and just so fans know, a thing just to finish on, and unfortunately it's not the best news. Questions continue to come in to Instagram messages, to Facebook messages, to emails on the website. Are you selling 25th anniversary items, masks, costumes? No, because we still haven't got them. So, unfortunately, as Mad About Horror has been updating people, as the distributor's been updating all of us, unfortunately, the 2021 stock is still in limbo, or customs hell, or trading standards hell, whatever you want to sort of look at it or label it. Paramount UK, as in a partner or a small company that work alongside Paramount UK, was in touch with me recently. Says, look, we've got some items for you to do giveaways if you want them. I said, yes. A week went by. I says, no offence, but there's no items arrived. Have you got the correct address? What's going on? I've had nothing. Have you got any tracking details? And they said, oh, would you believe we've got items coming from USA? It's been stopped in customs. Unbelievable. Oh, but there's something with customs and Ghostface lately that just goes wrong. I don't know what it is. So I says, it's stuck in customs. She goes, oh no, it should be at our warehouse tomorrow, which is basically today, because it was yesterday I contacted them. So there's some sort of giveaway items, which I believe may be t-shirts or tops or hoodies, I don't know. There's some sort of apparel, I believe. I don't know if there's some stickers, maybe, I don't know if there's masks, I'm not sure. I know HelloSydney.com, aka Rodrigo on Twitter's been doing some giveaways. He was sent some stuff, but I don't know if I'm getting the same stuff. So Paramount UK said to me yesterday, it was stopped at customs, but it was delayed at customs, but it should be at the warehouse tomorrow, which was today. And then she said, as soon as it's at the warehouse, we'll ship to you ASAP. I says, okay. So maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, I may get something from Paramount UK. But with regards to the main UK stock of 2021 items, the UK distributor still has the same problem with the trading standards, aka customs hell. They're still there and they're still stuck. So shit as it is, obviously we've only had the costumes allowed through, they've all gone. 2 people I've sent costumes to in the last week or so. One's received and one is still in transit to Canada. But aside from that, I have nothing. People keep saying, well, you haven't got them, what else you got to sell? At this time, I have nothing else to sell. Nothing from personal collection, nothing from masks I've held back. I've got a few devils and I might have a few plastic masks, but I've got to double check what I've got and what I want in my collection. I think the plastic masks, I'm about out of them. I wanted 2 from each year. I only had 2017 and 2018 years of plastic, and I think I've left myself short. So plastics, I don't think I've got too many. Devils is probably a couple knocking about with 2020 manufacture dates. I've helped 2 people out with Devils recently. Aside from that, nothing really to say with regards to what's for sale. And I promise you this is the last thing to mention. So on the contact page of my site, this used to be different. This used to have the contact form at the top of the page. Now it's at the bottom because I want people to read the page before contacting me. So this basically says about the shipping, the customs and the delays, and the fact there's still no stock released. These are the pictures of the items that are still affected, of course. USA flag, costumes, Devil, Viper, 25th anniversary, Scorched. Collector set, What Mad About Horror's getting. All still affected. And then in yellow text here, I've got the fact that no other type of masks from my collection are for sale. So no MKs, HNs, T-stamps, nothing's for sale, unfortunately. I don't mean to be nasty. And then when I do send out, just an idea of what the postage is going to be, the limitations with the weight. And then right at the bottom is your contact form if you want to put your name and your email, which are required. And then select whatever tick box and put whatever obviously you want to type to me in there. And then if you want to upload pictures, choose the files. And it'll pop up with the window on your computer, etc. And you know, you want to ask for a mask identification or what the mask is you've just brought, whatever it is. There you go. So aside from that, I'll double check the chat for the last time, then we'll let you go. I've gone over 3 hours. I'm almost equaling the last stream time, which was about 3 hours 20, I think. Can you claim back for your losses as 2021 has gone? No, if you're on about what I've ordered for the distributor, I just want to keep the order intact and hope they're going to be released, because I want those masks. And I want to be helping masks go to other fans for reasonable prices too. So I will be cheaper than others in that respect. Not a lot, but I will be a little cheaper, I think, with some prices on some things. Do you still have any extra collector's costumes? I believe I had 1 or 2. I will check. I need one Devil with the old tag, the Devil mask. I may have one of them. Again, I've got to go in the loft and dig some boxes out. I know where the boxes are. It's just I've got to check what amounts of what I've got, because I like to have a couple from each year in my own collection, whether it's Devils, whether it's Skellyface, whether it's the plastic mask. But I will have a look, but I'm going to leave you in peace. Time to go. Got to do the finger countdown on the count out again, because YouTube might cut me off. So it'll be blah blah halfway through a sentence and then just cut. So thank you for watching. Thank you to Mr. Nate Reagan for attending and being on the Skype earlier. I don't know if he's still watching. I hope so. The Clarion man. That's a long story anyway. But yes, Nate Reagan, an honour as always. Thank you to people for listening and watching. Yes, we've discussed spoilers, and yes, there's a thumbnail on this video saying if you haven't seen the film, don't watch the stream. So I hope nobody's coming here and has things ruined. You should have known that it was spoilers contained, and I'm hoping everyone's fine with that. But thank you for watching. Thank you for tolerating. I will get back to you, Jordan, with regards to Devils, etc. I need to get back to Douglas about plastics. But I need to have a good look in the loft and see what I've got and what I could possibly let go. But aside from mass for sale, nothing currently, and I'm eagerly awaiting the UK stock to get released out of bloody customs, because it's 3 months now they've had it. So we'll see what happens, and as I say on all the other streams, as soon as anything happens, is there any update that's good news, I shall let you know. Even if it's bad news, I shall update you. But see you soon, take it easy. Continue to stay safe. It's not over yet. Get your booster if you haven't. I need to get my booster. But thank you, Fangoria, for the nice magazine and the top. And I'm going to have a look to see what Scream serials may still be available and what price to go for. But see you soon. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon, wherever you are. And until next time, we'll be back soon. Just catching the chat. Thank you. Thanks, Melinda, Kyle, Retroactive. Yeah, cheers, Josh. Pirate Pete. Yeah, it's Mr. Pete's there, is he? Got my booster last week. Yeah, I need to get my booster. Keep getting badgered about it here, but for good reason. But see you soon, chaps. Take it easy. And as I say, stay safe. I'm going to count out.